now live audio. Everyone can hear us. So
all I can say is just keep on running. Keep on
More
running.
paranoid than Tim. Let me tell you something. That's paranoid.
I'm never.
I trust him. Crit tables. Nothing bad has ever happened to me. So.
Oh yeah.
Really?
No accidents.
What happened to your guts?
Accidents. I get it. That's funny.
Terry, I refuse to use them in my game. So
I know Jay warned me, but I said no. I like
ones that Alan doctors up a bit, but we won't. No, they're just too crazy.
I've been thinking about putting together or like working out some crit tables where like 0 to, or not 0, but like, like low to like 90 is stuff that's just like, oh, you mess them up or you hurt them, you do something that can change the course of the battle, but not like murder. But like 90 to 100 is stuff that'll just knock them out.
Yeah, but there's something exciting about watching your entrails fall upon the ground. And,
Oh, my chat is so weird on Twitch.
Is it?
It doesn't look like normal, and I can't chat in there. It's weird. Hang on, I'll take a picture. And
What's
send it
normal, Vivi?
Oh, I can.
Apparently Canada is normal.
The chat can change, okay?
Okay, I'll throw it in our group.
Which will change things without telling you, too. So
Yes.
It will. Everybody, thanks for your patience tonight. We're going to be just a couple of minutes late, but it's for a very good reason. We're doing something we've never done before, a co-DM session with Lord Gusumba.
Do you see it? It says chat. I don't understand what's happening. And if I collapse it and I bring it back, there's no option for me to chat. I just see things coming.
Maybe log out, log back in.
Log out.
Yeah, I see. Oh, you're on a video. You're not on. You're looking at. You're not watching the live session.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's why you're on a video.
Hang on. Okay. Where's the chat?
Take me to the other side.
Okay, thank you, Terry.
Not a problem.
Much appreciated. That beard is coming in so nice.
Thank you.
Are you planning on keeping the braids for stream, or do you want to shave it off before we go live on video this time?
I'm gonna keep them.
You're gonna keep
Actually, I'm debating whether or not I want to grow my top hair out because just for the funsies.
I don't know how you
already. It's growing pretty well.
Yeah.
Already,
I don't know how you braid your chest hair like that though.
Well, it takes a little bit of work, but I've watched some tutorials online. I want to say, Josh, thank you for those.
Oh yeah.
And
it's great when you can like hang miniatures from them.
Who needs a Christmas tree?
I was thinking of those Viking beads that you can like clip into your beard.
Yeah. Do I?
I should get you some of those, Terry, so you can put into your chest hair.
Welcome back, Evelyn.
Just in time.
Hello, all of our amazing Blue Box viewers. We are just doing a little bit of fine-tuning here before we go live. It is going to be a fun night. Good to see you, Bobcat. Pat Draws. Pat, hey, how are you, my friend? Maya Morph, as always. Lord Forth. Robert Phantom NJ. Iculus, good to see you, my friend. Man of Mystical Unicorn Painting. All of you, thanks so much for joining us. We are doing, as I said, a bit of fine-tuning before we go live here, but it is going to be a fun session tonight. And we have a special guest star, the Lord Gusumba. And that will be a blast tonight. And we'll see who lives, who dies, who laughs, who cries.
Oh, nice. Evelyn, remind me for next week to make a bingo card with the names of our people, because we're going to play bingo next week.
Bingo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're gone! He has an invisibility. Oh.
Nice
Invisibility cloak.
So
green screen color.
So took my dog out before coming down here. That's why I wasn't down here with my cam on.
Okay.
Oh, the green doggy
And
pickup.
she has
bag.
green dog bags, and I saw it just now. I was like, I wonder. And sure enough,
Invisibility cloak.
It does look like the invisibility cloak.
Which was done with green screen material.
What? Mind blown.
I know,
never
right?
knew. I wonder if this
Not
one.
Not actually magic. Tragic.
That one doesn't.
Damn
work.
it.
This one. No. Oh
We-
yeah.
We're just holding up things that are green.
Yeah, my pencil goes invisible.
I don't have anything that's green here.
I think it should go. No.
I'm gonna have a
Maybe-
bib.
no. It's
Where-
not.
where is it?
Apparently, it's not quite the same green.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a bib.
That's definitely not green, Josh. That's no.
50
Oh, we're
Shades
just
of
we're just
Grey.
holding things up. Okay.
The tale of
Definitely
a
doing
colorblind child.
Feel like Rambo about this?
Ooh.
Ooh.
You
get-
can see into my thoughts.
You can see my mental.
It's pretty
mental
empty.
Yeah,
capacity.
yeah.
I can see right through you.
Ah. Brilliant.
You think anyone will notice?
That's so trippy.
Well, I think they will because our mics are live and they can hear us. So.
Yeah.
Well,
They've been listening to us the entire time.
these
Only some of them.
29 people
They know our secrets.
out of the 500 for tonight.
Reveal your secrets.
Out of the 5. Good math. I like it.
Hey, you guys should know by now, my analytical brain is not there.
You know, I think I've
you
come
have
to the
no analytical
conclusion
brain,
that I'm
Josh.
very unentertaining on screen because I just sit there.
You're unentertaining?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you look at Josh, and Josh is all like, yeah. And I'm sitting there like,
You do have more of a stoic face. Like when we're doing when I've tried to screen capture certain things.
Yeah.
Like where like moments where everyone's like, and then like everybody's has like a big expressive face, and then Kimball's very like.
Yep. I'm actually
You're-
so tell you one of my secrets when I do the posts for each of our sessions. Most of the time I take multiple shots so that I can get good pictures. So I
Oh.
put it down and put them together because there are times where like people are like and like eyes closed but like so any of the times where everybody's reacting really big, if someone reacts a little later, I just pull all the ones that have the same kind of reaction and put them together so that it has the same
Oh.
reaction in the still.
You've been lying to us.
She has. Yes,
Magic
it's
of
true.
Photoshop.
Yes.
what were you gonna say, Jay?
I was just gonna say you're like Bill Wyman in the Stones. You just stand there and play the guitar, play the bass. That's it. That's how you do it.
There it is.
It's here for a good time.
Yep.
That makes so
Here for
much
a fun.
sense, though. Yeah, because I was like, how the heck did she get that? Where all of us are all at the same time.
Well, because
In chat,
there's so
yeah.
many times where someone blinks or like is making a face that I realize that no one would want me to share of them on the internet. So I'm
I
like, okay,
totally
let me just make sure everyone looks nice.
That's
We just
smart.
stay here like this the whole time.
Oh, thank you. Well, as long as you're fine with me sharing that on the internet.
Fake news, Millie. It said she lied to tell the truth.
I'm establishing an idea. You
Yes.
see.
She lied.
Liar! Liar!
You liar.
It's a true love.
Thank you for your patience, everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a DMCA takedown. I'm sorry.
What?
There has been a little bit of a glitch here, but I think I got it worked out. It is always fun working with tech changes, but we are so close, and we're going to kick this off live in just a moment.
How am I like a DJ?
How are you
Gypsy
with
do
the DJ?
Dunkaroo, baby.
And welcome back, everybody, to BlueBoxRPG 887.24.
That number
Man.
doesn't exist.
No, yes, just like this show exists, just this radio show. Yes.
It does. I've heard it. It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I wish I was that DJ. He's amazing.
Smooth jazz with Josh.
Smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz with Brim. Welcome back. We're listening to Kenny G.
So on NPR in Detroit, when I lived there for 3 years back in the early 2000s, every night there was Ed Love in the Jazz Hour, and he had this smooth, and it was like I would listen to him while I'm doing renderings for costume class or whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Any jazz flute?
No, unfortunately.
I didn't know
It was a
flute
good
was-
Anchorman reference, though. Well done.
Oh, got it.
It's really funny when you're
Oh, got it.
in band in high school and you play flute and everyone's like, yeah, let's do some jazz riffs right now, and like all the clarinets are rocking out, trumpets are rocking out, and I'm like, I play the flute, y'all.
That's just pretty much how I felt all the time in band.
Did you play the flute?
I mean, that wasn't here or there, but what I was saying.
What's Rory doing in the middle of the marching band again? I thought we kicked it out.
you know,
running the field.
I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't, but I'm going to.
Yes, you should.
Okay.
In which,
God.
you know, all in all, I enjoyed the fact that I joined the Marine Corps, right? I'm happy I did my 5 years. I'm good. I'm solid. And I got the name behind me, right?
Right.
But there are certain aspects of me that don't line up with music. Number one, rhythm.
Wow, really?
I can march, but I cannot march with a rifle in my hand. I don't know why, but my coordination gets thrown off and I get sent to medical.
Oh no.
They just said, like, Self, go to medical for your shin splints. I really did have shin splints for 10 out of 12 weeks. Like,
Oh.
go to medical for shin splints because you can't march.
You know good.
Wow.
Yeah.
They told you no good.
I could do so many things throughout the other 5 years, but I couldn't march.
That I'm pretty good at, actually.
I
I marched with a flag and with a rifle in color guard in the marching
No.
I was
band.
born to march. March
died.
27th to be exact.
Oh, God, that's good. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I couldn't dance till college, so
Oh, what dancing did you get into in college?
I was in the dance company.
Yeah.
I was an actual dancer. Yeah, I know. Back when I
An
was
actual
svelte.
dancer.
Can you
Yeah.
dance for us?
I did. Hell no. I
Oh,
did
the
ballet.
phone in the background is
Hell
for?
no.
I did ballet, jazz, modern. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Hip hop, when they brought the hip hop special guests in, I was able to do backflips. It was weird. Now if I try that, I
I
do
wanna
back
see that
falls,
now.
which is different.
I don't
can
believe
still-
that. I
will
don't
say
believe that
can
at
still
all.
handstand and walk across the stage.
Yeah, I don't.
So,
I don't
I
believe that
learned
at
that
all.
during
Pretty
dance
impressive.
class.
I doubt it, Terry. That's
We'll save that for episode 50.
that's
Back.
You heard it here, folks. If we get to 50,
That's
I'll handstand.
suspect
Wait,
at
you can
best.
do handstand after the stream is over. Just so for us.
It's like a child when you try and negotiate with them. Like, you'll get gummy bears when you finish your vegetables, and they're like, what if you give me gummy bears?
And now.
What if, if I eat my carrots and not my broccoli and have 3 bites, can I please have some gummy bears?
All right,
and
everybody.
that's when you answer yes, as long as you finish
We're
all
go-
of your.
I'm going to go ahead and kick us off live on video. I'm still working on a couple things. I had a weird glitch that just happened, but I think I've worked through it. And there will be. What?
What happened?
It says Adventures of the Wayward Vault through interpretive dance.
Dance by Terry.
The mad chatters are already on fire. Okay, here we go. This is episode 28 of Greyhawk.
Stage whisper is every actor backstage ever because they don't know how to whisper backstage.
Oh, it's
All right.
so true.
So we are on episode 28 of Greyhawk Awakening. This one is entitled Ashryn on the Brink. And we are live with video. And I'm still going to be tweaking some things here, but it looks like everybody looks good. I got to give Jay a frame. But we got 41 people already watching on the stream tonight, and we have not done jack squat yet except nonsense, which is great to see. Thank you so much, everyone. And it is going to be a great, great night tonight.
Hello.
Ominous music aside. I am joined by the luminous, the legendary J. Scott, Lord Gazumba. And yes, he will get his own frame in just a moment, but he is going to be not playing an NPC tonight. He's going to be doing something that I have never done. And I don't know, maybe he has ever done it. He's going to be co-DMing this stream with me tonight. And we're going to see how this works out. But I have a great deal of confidence that this is going to be an amazing, amazing night for us. So let me move all these around. There's Shorewind. There's
I
Lilith.
love the fact that
being
I'm a
Lilith.
horse now.
Yeah, I liked
Yeah.
being Shorewind.
I think I've got all that worked out.
Lilith name.
And I'm going to be doing some more of this through the night, but we'll have this all set up for everybody. And by the way, thank you to all of our viewers for joining us tonight. And if you want to make tonight a night where you give cheers, I don't normally beg for this kind of stuff because that's not my thing, but we have worked very hard to make this stream happen tonight, and it will be a blast. All right, let's go through what happened last time. We're going to talk about our sponsors. I'll save the sponsors in a moment. And then we're going to do our play pros, and we're going to get right into the action tonight since we're already about 12 minutes behind, and I don't like to do that. I like to start on time, but thanks for all your patience. Let's have Evelyn, please tell us what happened last time.
So last time we started off continuing our combat with Storgojol, with Shorewind on the ground dying, Ashryn on the ground dying, and Githa leaping to run to the aid of her brother. When we began, Millie called Storgojol a coward for attacking people who were injured and focusing on the women in particular, and challenged him and ran and attacked, with Brim coming up behind and swinging his axe right over the top of Millie's head. It was pretty impressive. Lilith continued to try to help both Shorewind and Ashryn, laying her Wayward Bolt symbol upon Ashryn, telling her that she had helped us many times before and she was part of the group, so she needed Lilith's help now. Ashryn, in kind of a last-ditch effort, stuffed a green needle into Shorewind's body to offer some healing to him, which was both effective and very painful at the same time. Then Gimbal, surprised by Githa leaping from the dragon, had to rethink his plans atop of the dragon, and he actually made the effort to speak Draconic and talk to the dragon to try to convince it to not roast the party in the middle of the road.
Right.
Which, thankfully, through quite a bit of convincing from both Gimbal and Brim, the dragon realized that he needed to escape when he discovered that Gorjol was actually the one who had enslaved him rather than saved him. And so the dragon flew off. Gorjol, in combat with Millie, continuing, she ends up slaying him while right after he strikes Githa 2 mighty blows with the axe. And Shorewind then rushes to Githa's aid. Gorjol was eaten by the dragon on the dragon's way out. And then as Shorewind attempted to tend to Githa, Millie ran over as well to try to help staunch the bleeding. And then Lilith began administering whatever aid and healing she could to various members of the party. And the group tried to start figuring out what to do next. Where should they go now that they currently have a member dying and one very injured? So they loaded both Githa and Ashryn into the cart, and after very many people touched Ashryn's necklace to figure out what it meant, Shorewind realized that it was probably one of the manors or the estates near where they were currently, and that they should continue on south. And so they did. They rode through the night, choosing not to ride the horses as fast as they possibly could go for a couple of reasons. One, so they didn't want to wear the horses out, and two, they did not want to injure Ashryn or Githa any further. There was a bit of conversation that happened through the night. Lilith actually got a moment's rest, but I think pretty much the rest of the party did not sleep that night.
Right.
Yeah. And then they arrived at the state kind of close to dawn the next day, trying to figure out how to get the attention of the people quickly, to which Brim kind of just let out a mighty roar, and which sent a bunch of the guard charging towards the party, and that's where we ended last time.
Precisely. So you had 4 of the house guard come careening out atop mounts, lances borne, and it was a very interesting ploy that was done there. I think Gimbal, as you said, was the initiator of that, and so we shall see how all of that plays out. Let's go through an introduction of all of our players. Give us your class, your race, your level, and then some detail about your PC. And then when we get to Josh, we'll conclude with you with our Monster Monday. Let's start with Gimbal.
Yeah, so my name is Gimbal. I'm a 3'1" gnome illusionist who rocks it all. Only because of my friends he's surrounded with. He has died for them and been tortured for them and come back and rode a dragon in front of them. It was awesome. Level 5 at that, and he's just happy to always be with his friends.
Would you really call that riding a dragon? You barely climbed his wing. I don't know if that was riding a dragon.
He almost stayed on when the dragon took off.
He did. You were real close. You were only
Real
one point
close.
away.
That would have
from
been so
succeeding.
awesome.
All right, well played. Let's go to Lilith.
Oh, I am Lilith. She is a Greyhawk druid wild elf. She is currently the healer of the group, seeing as Ashryn is down. So imagine that. She
Thanks,
has. You're welcome. She has no care for gold. She likes oddities. Any kind of odd trinket she can find, she prefers over gold. And any kind of gold that she does find, she hands off to her best friend Millie.
Well said, well said. All right, let's go to Shorewin. Shorewin, who has had a difficult couple of weeks.
I am Shorewin Tessel of Corewood, a level 5 cavalier. My trusty steed Winston by my side, and we have finally found my sister Githa. Although we seem to be not doing too well as a group. We'll see how things turn out.
All right, very nicely done. And let's go to Lilith.
I already went.
I'm sorry, I meant Josh. No, where's that? Millie, I meant Millie. Millie. Too much multitasking here. Thank you, everybody.
Hello, dears. I am Mary Millie Von Tance. I am a half-elven swashbuckler of the 6th level. I like gold, whiskey, and generally shiny things. And thank goodness I now have another fate chip as of last week. So yes, that's where I'm at.
Well done. And let's go to Josh.
Hi guys, I'm Brimstone. I'm a level 5 fighter. I am 7.5 feet tall, still growing, because I'm drinking my milk. I'm about to become a Brim Kebab in the beginning of this show. But Gimbal will survive on without me, as Gimbal is my best friend. And now to Josh with the Monster Monday.
All right, so for Monster Monday, if you've not seen this before, and thanks everybody for joining us tonight. We've already got a good crowd on. And by the way, we got multiple giveaways. We're giving away a blue box mask. We're giving away a blue box hat. I'm going to get your input on different hat options. And we're giving away a blue box mouse pad tonight. So multiple giveaways that we'll be doing. And depending on how big we get, I may even do a 4th giveaway tonight. So we're going to make this a big night tonight because we're joined by Jay, and I want to make this a good night tonight. So Josh, go ahead and hit us with Monster Monday. Everybody pop in the chat what you think this monster is.
Hi. Starting with an A, but somehow in the back. It's easy to be lost in a book as large as that. People never remember me, yet I could be used in Tasha's cauldron of everything. Robes all adorn me. Hopefully the populace adores me. Under priest and pillar I bow my head. Could be called a monk. Could easily be knocked dead. Less than levels, my rank is low, but my hands are healing as far as low level goes, blessing and lighting those that need my help. Go forward with faith, and sanctuary will be at your back. Not one to dance or party, yet I can go clubbing, striking temple or temple. Either way, it is the way, it is the way. To safety and guidance, not one much for violence, though that's up to the DM's discretion, so take trusting me as a possible lesson.
I love it. So Steve Bloodwild said he needs that in Mike Tyson's voice, which I think would be epic. I love that. Well, we have guesses of Artifish, Alcoit, an annoying rap rodent.
Yeah.
Any other guesses on the Monster Monday? Give them just a second. A hat monster.
Get out.
Ends in an A, right?
I think you stumped him today, Josh. We'll give it 5 more seconds. An albatross, 4, 3, 2, larva, 1, an alcoit, a newt. All right, what is it, Josh?
The answer is an agolite.
Oh, an agolite? Or
Acolyte.
Acolyte. Oh, okay, gotcha. An acolyte. All right, very nice. Well done, well done. And so that is our Noir Hunter. He guessed it twice. So well done, sir. Hey, Robert, thank you so much for all the subs. Congrats to Midianex, Wu-Tang, Sean Yella, and Keys DM. And that was all in honor of Jay being with us tonight. All right. So before we jump into the action, I'm going to go over our sponsors quickly, and then I am going to step out for just a second because I've been down here for like 3 hours and I've got to use the restroom. I'm going to be like super quick, so I'm expecting all of you to entertain the audience while I do that. As always, we appreciate our sponsors, and I'm going to skip the GHA map video since we're behind time, but thank you to Cozy Gamer. Beautiful dice. She's making custom blue box dice for us this year. So you're going to have that cool dragon logo on your D6 as a 6, on your D20 as a 20, your D8 as the 8, so on and so forth. That will be so much fun. Thank you to Frederica Draws, who makes great artwork for us as well. Visit Cozy Gamer, visit Frederica, and the last one we'll do very quickly, Mantic Games, makers of Terrain Crate. We've given away a lot of their stuff, and of course, last but not really. And we're going to go back to our full screen. I'm going to step up and use the restroom just real quick, and I'll be right back. And everybody, entertain the audience with the amazing Lord Gas.
This is where we all go silent.
This is where, well. So while John's away, I'm honored to do this. This is going to be a fun session tonight. Well, for John and me at least.
Been trying to kill off Warwind for weeks.
So ominous, always.
Jay, are you gonna kill John off?
Oh
no, I couldn't do that.
Battle of the DMs.
What kind of dinosaurs are you adding in tonight?
Oh my gosh.
He just sends a hitman through John's window.
So we have our bugaboos. John's is dinosaurs, and mine is Thronedale vampires, right? The fake. Yeah. I got rid of that on Thursday night. Thronedale himself sent a letter and said, in case you are not aware, there are rumors about me turning to the undead, and it's all BS. So I took care of that in the game. So he's going to take care of dinosaurs at some point. I imagine.
Be a meteor somewhere in the sky.
Exactly. So
wouldn't about everything? Josh?
No, it just hits
No.
dinosaurs.
Just dinosaurs.
Little homing.
There's actually this island off in the sea somewhere that it just strikes right there and wipes out that island, and that's it.
We
But
just see
that's all the
smoke like, huh.
dinosaurs.
It's the island.
Mind
It's the
blown.
island.
Phantom, I'm sorry. Phantom put something really funny in chat. He said all players need to go hide and Jake announce there's a TPK. So Tim's so crazy, and Tim's on tonight because his dad. We would come down into the basement when we were playing when we were young, and the first thing he would say to us, "You're dead. What do you do next?" And that was it.
Well, if you're dead,
This is where the journey begins.
So
We should do that. Just disappear off screen in the game. Before, like, as we see John come back, everyone just.
Rory just has to hold up a bag.
Oh yeah. You can. I have my green screen, so if I put my finger over my.
There goes Rory. Oh
Yeah,
God.
I can just put a finger over the.
He has
Oh.
multiple bags.
You have multiple bags. Not John.
I was going to say something smart, but I think John's been gone so long he's had to flush twice.
Hey, look, I can do a puppet show for you guys.
Can you?
Oh. No.
What do you have?
Oh, you can't see it. My bad.
Wow. Just put googly eyes on it, so they're just green googly eyes.
Sorry, John. Party got eaten by a T-Rex while you were gone.
Oh,
Just reading the chat, loving it.
We were teleported to the Isle of Dread.
yeah, exactly. Isle of Dread.
Oh man.
Make him run that. Tie him down to the chair and say, "You're going to run this adventure."
Like, I think it'd be funny if, like, when you switch over.
Jay, I heard that insurrection. I heard that.
What? Heard what?
Yeah, I heard Jay advising my players to make me do something. I love that.
That wasn't
Heard
mine.
no such thing at all.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'd never sell you out.
You just sold him out.
Oh, dang it.
All right, so we're going to get started, and thank you again, everyone, for your patience tonight. We're doing something a little bit different, and we will be much more ready for this next time. But it's great to have Jay with us tonight. Jay is not just running an NPC or playing. Jay is the co-DM tonight because we are working, of course, throughout the area of the Flyness, which is the historic area of the Order of Ulek and all that has happened up in the Pomage Coast and all in that area, which is his stomping grounds. So, we will begin tonight, and this is again Greyhawk Awakening number 28, Ashryn on the Brink. You see, as Brim has let out his bellow, there are horsemen that come out. As they get closer, you find that they are not human. They're not what you expected. They're elvish. You see the barding of the horses ornate, the swords long and thin, bows hang over backs, helms with wings that curl back over their heads. And as they stride forward, two of the steeds are black, two of the steeds are white, and one of the one of the soldiers kind of pulls to the front, and I'm going to switch to the battle cam here so you can watch on our screen here. And you see these four, I don't have the horses on them, but you'll get the idea. These four surround the party as you approach the estate. And the lead steps forward. He pulls a sword out of the sheath, and Jay, go ahead.
So, a couple things you see about the four. You note that they have swords, but they also have great axes, pole axes, or what's called a bardiche from some of them. And that is very strange amongst elves to wield that weapon. They have longbows. They seem very well armored. The beyond you see is not an ostentatious estate, but a very tastefully done and well-kept grounds. Not walled, so there are no walls here. It's not a major walled fortification. The lead guard says to you, what business do you have with House Gestrul?
Millie's gonna look at them, and because she realizes they're elves, she will speak to them. She will greet them in Elvish. I hail. And she will say, "Yes. We have some injured compatriots with us in this cart. We encountered a very large orcish man along the road, and we are in dire need of some aid."
Orcs along the road? How far away was this?
About a day, half a day's back to travel.
In the Kron? In the Kron Hills?
Yes, it was close. We were about an hour's way from Gallows Corner.
What gives you the notion that us of Selene, because you are not obviously an elf of Her Majesty's Selene, why should we assist you and your group of companions?
And the one on the opposite side of the lead speaks up and says, "Indeed, and why would we undertake any effort to aid an ogre?"
Well, one amongst us, I do believe she resides in this area. Her name's Ashryn, and she is on the verge of dying.
Ashryn.
Yes.
Ashryn is not of House Gestrul. If it is an Ashryn that we know of, she is of House Thronedale. That estate is a week's travel away. Why bring? Is that she in the cart?
Yes, it is. She was grievously wounded trying to protect one of us. She has been healing our party as we've endured combat along the road.
Guess the one guard looks at the other guard and we do not have the authority to allow you to gain access.
And they have still not answered. They have still not answered for the presence of an ogre or ogre mongrel, whatever this creature is.
He is one of us. He has been our friend and a strong arm at our side.
You consort with this? He nods with disdain on his face.
Gimbal he's been on Brim's shoulder this whole time. So he will tap on Brim's shoulder and, "Brim, will you hold me in your hand, just like reach me out towards them?" So as Brim reaches him forward, "Call us what you will, but unless you want to face the dragon that we just got rid of, I think we did you a favor, and that includes this guy."
Dragons? There have not been dragons in this area of the Kron for 100 years.
The guard looks over at his leader. "Indeed, I think they seek to mock us, dragons. There are no dragons here."
Lilith will step forward. Please, we need your help. If not, we can. If you don't trust Brim, we can stay out in the front. We just need help for Ashryn. Whether she's from your house or not, she's in dire need. We don't know how much longer she can last.
If she is who you say she is, we should look at. We should at least look at her. But we would have to go to Lord Vartrell of the house, the head of the house, and seek his guidance. But how many guards do we have, John? 6 or 4?
I'm sorry. What?
How many guards do we have? Do we have 6 or 4?
There's 4 here. Yes.
And if do you have the house Gestrul symbol up? You could at some point.
I do. Yes. So let me pull that up, and that is this one here, I believe, for all of our fans.
There you go.
So you see this on all. This is emblazoned on their cloaks. Each one of them has this symbol, the fountains overflowing with the twin axes beneath.
They seem very standoffish. I don't know if the word's paranoia or if the word is caution, or if elves have long memories. Brim, are you holding out? Are you holding? The one guard says, "You may place the surnome to the ground. We see him."
It's not about if you see me. We are friends, regardless of what you think of him. And perhaps there's more at stake than you know. You say you haven't seen a red dragon or dragons in 100 years. They fly, but also you might recognize an orc leader or their leaders in particular that we've encountered as well. And Millie can explain them to you, and I can show them to you, but there perhaps is more in common than you think.
The one guard who hasn't talked yet immediately points to Sherwin. Do you have the Sir Harn symbol on you?
Yeah, it is on my shield.
Okay.
Yeah. It's on his shield, and I think there's on some on the barding of his horse as well.
Yeah, my horse has too.
Would you please speak on behalf of the party? We recognize that symbol from the county of Ulick.
Shorwin, who up to this point had been barely listening, as he'd been paying attention to his sister Githa, who is still laying in the back of the cart, looks up. These companions of mine have saved me time and time again. They are friends and should be allowed the same graciousness that I am offered of every noble.
As he is talking, and you're all listening intently, Gimbal, from behind you, two hands come and put, you didn't hear anything, come and are placed on your shoulders and slightly massage your shoulders in a little disturbing fashion. And this person says, "I think we have a bit of a misunderstanding here." It's a male voice. And he says, my dear friends of House Gistrul, I think I can vouch for all these individuals. I think we should let them pass and talk to Sir Vartrell. There you go. That's who you see.
So this figure comes up behind you, puts his hands on your shoulders. It was eerie how quietly he approached. You heard nothing, you saw nothing, and suddenly he's right behind you, his hands on your shoulders, saying the words you just heard.
Would Brim have also been oblivious to this?
Yes.
No one saw what happened. Like it was.
Okay, I just wondered because I was with him, so he's got a good nose.
He just right in, snuck right in. He appears to be a middle-aged half-elf, so he's been alive for a fair amount of time. Dark hair, it's graying, but some noticeable features. He has no armor on. He has a bastard sword at one side and a short sword at another side. He also is very dandyishly / foppishly dressed, dresses in pinks and purples with a little bit of yellow and orange thrown in.
A bit of panache, if you will.
Yeah, panache. And he says, "Hail, travelers and adventurers. Who are all of you? I always like meeting new people to Selene there's connections everywhere. We may have someone in common. We may not, but I would love to make your acquaintance. I know dear Ashryn is on death's door and we should get in quickly, but courtesy is always something I like to have. My name, you can call me Hawk. I'm of House Paddlemeal, which is of the next estate over. But I do not reside there. Fortune has it that I was visiting family from my home restful retreat in central Selene. Yes, Tim, it is who you think it is.
So one of the guards looks over, the one that spoke earlier, and he says, Sir Hawk, are you sure? This is most unusual. Is this truly Ashryn? Can we validate this is House Thronedale?
He looks over at her and says, yes, on my word, I will vouch for that this is Ashryn and that we should not waste time.
At those words, you see all 4 guards kind of step back, pull their weapons back, and stand in deference to this one that has stood behind the party and spoken.
Lilith will step forward and just ask the guards, would you be able to take Ashryn in? She's in dire need while we make pleasantries with Sir Hawk?
Oh, never. Please ever call me sir. Hawk is fine.
Okay.
He chuckles and laughs and says, you are a silly one. You are not from around here. Are you from the Dreadwood? Are you from the Dim Forest? I cannot place your dialect or your attire.
Oh, and she kind of like, as he says attire, she kind of like is kind of like proud of herself and looking at her and kind of like fixes her hot mess up. And she kind of looks at Hawk, kind of like up and down, checking out his garments that he had just explained. I'm from the Vespi Forest.
Been to the Vespi twice.
Oh.
I do not want to go back. It is grandiose in size, and it is a dangerous place.
Indeed it is. Sorry, I was going to say Sir Hawk again. Hawk.
He giggles again.
I feel like I must address you appropriately as you are dressed so fancily.
One must make a statement while out on the road adventuring and traveling. And he looks over at Millie and says, don't you agree? You're awfully quiet.
Yes, I tend to prefer to observe, save words for important moments.
This is as much of an important moment as there is. Your friend is in dire straits.
The guard who had held his tongue to this point speaks up. You don't find this an important moment? Lances leveled at you, one of your companions supposedly on the brink of death, and you find this not an important moment?
Charming fellows. All of you, aren't you? Very, very charming. Yes, it is an important moment, but I mean, my dears, that I choose my words very carefully. So...
Fair enough, he says. You are just like someone else who's going to be here shortly. I think you'll both get along real well. He says.
I'm Millie.
Very nice to meet your acquaintance. I would come over and kiss your hand, but you would see that as me groveling or insulting you, so I will just shake your hand and say, very nice to meet you.
I do believe we're going to get along swimmingly, dear.
Hawk goes over to Brim and Gimbal, and my apologies for, you have to understand, my kin are suspicious of orcs and their half-breeds and ogres and their half-breeds as well. And I don't mean any disrespect by that as he starts talking very fast. But I have some of your kin that are of the most noblest. And when we get inside, let's discuss that. So I bear no grudges or racial stereotypes. I take everyone at their face value and what their character is.
This has been a great discussion. Can we move forward now?
Surely. Let's make our way within and talk to the lord of the estate.
All right. So, as you say this, the elves that are mounted on the horses, the guards that had come out. They're watching what Hawk says, but they seem to be very doubtful. It's as though they're very much questioning the wisdom of what he is saying. But they allow you to proceed. As you turn...
Who has the best hearing?
That would be Millie.
How about a perception check to hear something, or some kind of check?
I like that.
I can do that.
Yes.
So 16 on the die plus my perception. That's a 29.
You see Hawk as you're walking in. He gently pets one of the horses, and he leans over to one of the guards he seems to know fairly well and says, "Do not fret. Come on. You know I wouldn't put you in a bad place, and you know that I can kill all of these people here very easily." And he laughs and chuckles, as that was a joke.
All right.
So you say nothing to the rest of the party?
Not within earshot of anybody else, no. I will keep this information until we are together alone.
Okay. All right. You see Ashryn in the cart. She begins to gasp. There is clearly something happening with her. Her lungs collapsing, perhaps, or it just there's a serious concern for her well-being as you move forward. And I'll show you the transition here real quick. So, as you head toward the Drusrul estate, you see there are fountains. It is a beautiful estate. There's a manor house to the background. As the guards escort you,
you see one thing in the distance, which is really, you may not know what it is. Is there engineering or a mechanical check for anyone? But you see what looks to be like a bridge with arches coming from the Cron Hills and ever so slightly coming downward. And it's the most bizarre bridge you have ever seen, because you assume that's what it is at first. But you notice the fountains are have all this water coming up, multiple fountains. Some of them change colors, and they're not ostentatious, but impressive nonetheless. And you're wondering how these fountains are functioning.
And it's interesting too, because the air is so chill here in the deep of winter on the Flyness. It blows through. All the trees have at best autumn colors. Others have lost leaves altogether. And yet these fountains spring up. Let me get you closer view. You have 3 of these fountains that they spring up. The water not freezing, creating beautiful sort of an ambiance to the area here in the courtyard. It very much has the feel of an elvish courtyard in the midst of the Flyness.
Hawk says real quick as you're walking in, there is nothing like this of this impressive nature at my house, Pat O'Neill, which is 10 miles to the east. But he says Drusrul is very impressive with its engineering and intellectuals, along with their clerics of Alana and of Hanali Selenor.
One of the guards looks over. What about the half-ogre? Can we trust this creature? Should we leave him outside?
I would trust him with my life 10 times over. He is honorable and better than, well, most people I've encountered in my days. I think very well that he is worthy of being trusted.
So he was looking at Gray.
I will vouch for him. I will vouch for it. Their whole group must come in and must be able to participate in what is about to happen. Hopefully.
while this is all happening, Brim's eyes will actually be on the fountains. Can I try and figure out the engineering behind these fountains with my knowledge of underground water systems?
He'd be the best one.
Yeah, so you have some experience with this. Of course, you in the free city of Greyhawk, many of the viewers may not know, Brim was a slave. Brim was one who was used by the guards in the free city, and he frequently explored the underground areas, was responsible for clearing terrain and slop from those. And so he is familiar with aqueducts and watering systems. Jay, I'll let you respond.
You make the assumption that that bridge is actually not, well, it's a special kind of bridge, an aqueduct. It is an aqueduct from the Cron Hills that it takes water runoff and rain, and that is how the fountains and the system of irrigation about House Destrul, and which is usually reserved for large cities and areas of advancement. But Selene, certain houses are known for different things, and that is their crafting is top notch here.
Perfect.
All right. Anything else from the rest of the players as you approach the center manor house? The guards escort you, despite the words of assurance from Gray. There is certainly a sense of mistrust toward all, but particularly toward Brim. They watch him closely. They occasionally, you see these elves, they flash looks of mistrust and even the threat of violence from their eyes, but they do nothing. Anything else as you approach the center manor house? And let me pull up that again so you can see here on the cam.
Well, still sitting on Brim's shoulder, I'll call out to Hawk. Hawk!
That's my little friend. What are all your names? You never... I gave you mine, but I did not get any of yours.
Yes, mine is Gimbal.
Lilith will be kind of mesmerized with the fountains. She doesn't turn towards Hawk. I was gonna say Sir Hawk again. She doesn't turn towards Hawk. Third time. He's so fancy. I just feel like I should call him Sir. She doesn't turn towards Hawk. She's very mesmerized by the fountain. She's never seen. She's really new to like this kind of stuff like this, and especially things like this where it's extra interesting. So she's looking at it. She's just like, oh, I'm Lilith.
Of the Vespi. Very nice to meet you.
Yes.
How about you, my very large friend? You are?
I'm Brim, Sir Hawk.
Please. Sir is not appropriate. I'm a fellow semi-retired adventurer, as yourselves are.
Thank you, Master Hawk.
Mind yourself, Hawk.
It says.
Mind yourself, Hawk. These are still strangers here. I appreciate the fact that you have...
He seems very carefree, as certain elves are. Some elves are very stuffy, some are carefree. He turns around to the group and says, you must understand, this suspicion goes back 100 years to the Hateful Wars, where most of my house, Paddlemeal, and Jestrul all perished, including both of my parents and both of my best friend Lurkazumba's parents.
Gimbal will give a nod of his head. Just in affirmation of what's being said. That is hard and unfortunate. Yet you are still here, and that's a good thing. By the seams of it, you are definitely capable. And he'll reach up and touch his shoulder when he says that, like...
I would love to tell you stories at one, maybe over a few nice glasses of ruby red, Selenian meat from Lady Ralta House Victrolan herself. If I remember where my friend Kazumba hid it when we were younger, there still may be a few bottles left. I remember the hiding spot here. But let's deal with what is at hand first.
And you see the rest of the guards, they're listening to Hawk, but these elves, they seem very suspect as to what's being said. They continue to cast furtive glances toward Brim. The cold wind blows through these autumn trees, leaves fall off of them. The chill air really reaches through. Even Shorewind, your wounds are healed, but you see this massive split in the abdomen of your armor where it's been damaged heavily, and it cuts through the cold, and you feel the haunting of what happened to you. Ashryn and Githa moan in the back of the cart, and the elves, despite the words that are kind coming from Hawk, continue to eye you, but especially Brim, with heavy suspicion. You move through the courtyards. The bubbling fountains offer little comfort in the cold, chill air. And you get closer. You see the manor house ahead. Between the pillars, as you can see on the screen here, there's a central manor house. And the guards, they continue to look at Hawk. They crack knuckles and touch blades, rub armor, and look suspiciously with an elven haughtiness, but they are deferring to Hawk as you approach the manor house.
I assume that at this point Hawk will try and alleviate them a little bit, saying that you don't want a mistake to happen here over something that is perceived but not actual, as he talks that way sometimes. But he says to the guards, please, you've trusted me before, and you've trusted. I've been coming here since I was a little kid with and we all know who my best friend is of this house, and please take it down a little bit, a notch or two, he says, to my brethren. Nothing will befall this house of Selene today. And then he winks over at Millie.
All right then, Hawk. You have no doubt gained the trust of our patron, and we have known you long. We trust your words, and nonetheless, we ask the ogre, lay down your weapons.
Can Gimbal hear this being said?
Oh yeah. You're all like, you can all hear all of this. Everyone can hear what's happening.
All right. Gimbal is at hearing that statement be said. Gimbal is just gonna straighten his back, still on Brim's shoulder, and call him by his name, perhaps, and we'll see where it goes. He does have a name.
Gimbal's gonna, Brim's gonna slowly grab Gimbal and just, all of his hand movements are very precise, and just put him down to the ground. And he'll move forward and he'll kneel on one knee in front of the warriors, the guards, and will bend to the point that if they wish to take his greatsword out of the sheath, they can.
And Gimbal's gonna, whatever a punch would be to Brim, you punch him in the shoulder, and you have no need to get down for them. You have a name, and you've walked with us this whole time, brother.
The guards step forward. You see a hesitance. Their hands are trembling, but they see Brim's hands up. They slide, and it takes almost a comical amount of time for this giant sword Eventually, you pull out. It kind of slumps to the ground to the one that tried to grab it. The other one comes over and lifts up the other edge of it. They look at each other at the girth and the weight of this massive greatsword, and they both kind of shrug at each other. All right then, speaks the one. Inside. Hawk, this is on your head.
Almost lost my head multiple times, you know that. So, plus all these limbs have all come off at one point or another in my years of adventuring. So this is nothing new, he says as he chuckles a little bit. We will be fine.
So be it.
I promise Sir Vartrell will see it my way. And the individual who I heard is coming shortly, she will see it this way.
All right. So anything else before you step inside the central area of the manor house? Party? And give me the order you go inside. The guards, they usher you past the fountains, which continue to sprinkle water despite the frigid, freezing air. There is this gorgeous autumn, fall, winter color. The mountains in the distance, the Cron Hills and up into the Lortnills show snow upon all their caps. The manor house itself, it's not a castle, but it is still, you see unique architecture. Much of it looks heavily influenced by the elves. And the courtyard itself, immaculately manicured. As you step before the doors of the manor house, there are twin oaken doors, heavy and thick, inlaid with inscriptions all across them. And the elves step back and they motion you toward it. Hawk kind of laughs as they do this.
Shorewind's going to yell over to Brim. Brim, can you carry Ashryn? I will carry Githa.
He'll just nod and head over to Ashryn, and still inside of his cloak, he'll scoop her up so gently and just hold her in his arms and just look at her and look at her still growing hair.
As you do this, Brim, again, you feel Ashryn's body is so remarkably light. It feels like there is nothing to her. Winston whinnies behind you as he watches all of this happening, and he knows that he's about to be left behind. He lets out a concerned cry, and his eyes train on Shorewind.
Winston, we will be fine. I need you to stay out here. A manor house is no place for a horse. We need to take Gith inside, see if we can get some help. Keep an eye on things for me.
Hawk says to Shorewind, I mean you no disrespect by this person you hold in obviously the highest regard. We will... What is her name? Do you know her
Githa.
name? I will see if I can assist Githa in the way that Ashryn will be receiving assistance as well. I do not want to belittle her plight before Ashryn's. Please note that.
Shorewind just looks at him, nods.
All right, anyone else saying or doing anything?
Millie's just kind of being on high alert, very observant, she's wary of elves, being a half-elf. She knows how they are.
Yeah. You assume Hawk is half-elven too. He's not full-blooded elf.
And Gimbal is... I think Brim would know, but Gimbal is not happy with this place. He does speak Sylvan, so if he can read with the inscriptions on the door, he's going to hold back and just read and study that.
There is, you notice there is a motto or saying along some of them, and it goes like this. Very perceptive, by the way. Always touch the enemy first, so they do not touch you. Second.
Always touch the enemy first, so they don't touch you second?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, You notice that symbol you see that symbol everywhere of the crossed, that could be called bardishes or lakabraxes, depending on what how you call them. They're great axes. They're not, single hand axes. They are two-handed polearm weapons that you notice is that symbol there. Yeah,
with heavy blades, ample size for two hands, sitting beneath this fountain.
Yeah, that is that's a hefty weapon for an elf, even a half elf to wield. But
question, John, having been in multiple battles over the years, would I recognize the bardishes as possibly being a specific weapon to any type of being?
Yeah, so roll a knowledge check for me, and let's make that a knowledge of, let's do it history.
Knowledge of history. All right. And can I roll with advantage?
Of course you can.
All right.
Thank you to all of our mad chatters. We appreciate the chat and the view. I should be chatting more with you, but I'm just enjoying what I'm doing right now with Jay, so it's so much fun.
That's going to be a 15.
Yeah, so you recognize this heraldry. You recognize it as part of House Destrul, and the fountains and the bardishes representing weapons that were enjoyed by the elves as they fought both humanoids and occasionally humans here to forge a more civilized area.
Please note that when you were in Altamira once with your, you call him, I don't know, would you call him Liege? With Sir Harn?
Yeah, Liege.
And you had witnessed Sir Harn win one of the 2 times that he won the Grand Joust of Altamira. Lord Kazumba was at one of those, and you were surprised that he was fighting with his weapon of choice was Bardiche.
Kazumba's weapon or Harn's?
Harn.
Kazumba's is a Bardiche,
Kazumba's,
yes.
right.
And he's from House Destrul, yes. Harn is a bastard sword. Lance, great lance and bastard sword. Yes.
And Sir Harn went against Kazumba and won?
No, he won the joust. Kazumba was there as an observer. He did not joust.
Gotcha.
He fought in some of the, simulated melee combats. Okay. But he was fighting with Bardiche, which is a rare weapon. If you think of foot troops with foot knights, you think of halberds at best, right? Bardiche is a little more of a cleaving weapon, a pure cleaving weapon, but it has some range to it. Yes.
Just Lilith being normally curious always, and all of this stuff being new to her, like the outside world, outside of the Vesti's Forest, being new to her, would she just being especially attentive to the buildings and stuff like that, would she notice anything?
Just note that you think that this estate has been here in Elven terms for as long as Selene has existed, or even longer. So, between 500 and 1,000 years.
Ancient.
Ancient. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody in the giveaway, sorry, NPC voices, exclamation point short will get you nothing. Exclamation point shirt could get you one of these beautiful Blue Box full color logo shirts. That's going to be our first giveaway. We're going to do that in just a minute. We're giving away a lot of stuff tonight just in celebration of having Jay with us, and we got a good crowd. By the way, everybody that's with us, if you haven't followed yet, or if you're a follower and you haven't subbed, we have one question for you.
What are you doing?
Give us a follow, give us a sub, and we've got multiple giveaways tonight. All right, resume the action.
Lilith will look at Hawk and kind of stand near him. Hawk, you say? You don't like to be called sir?
You are the first to ever call me sir in my existence, and it's been a long one. Maybe not as long as you, being of the full blood.
So why do they hold you in such high regard here, if you are not a sir?
When you become, and I think your group is well on its way, when you become an adventurer, titles don't mean much. And I've adventured for years. My best friend, who is the head of the Order of Ulick now, Gazumba. I am semi-retired. I was an officer once, but I didn't take well to it. Responsibility is just not my thing. But I've always been there. When my friend has called me to service or called me for something, life and death, I do not mind. So therefore, I will be as carefree as possible between those times, because I know that time will come again. I could tell you some great stories of myself and our two other companions, another half-elven spellcaster who, if you have been in southern Selene, has a tower that's shaped like a rod that all electrical storms go through it. It's called Lightning Rod Tower. His name is Fensick, and a really, really charming, tall fellow halfling, non-backed entrepreneur, if you get my drift, named Leuven Light-Fingered. Don't know why they call him that.
And have you heard of the orcs that are in the Crown Hills?
Orcs in the Crown Hills, that troubles me a little bit. It seems like every 5 to 10 years we go through this. Orcs in the Crown Hills, where they have come from, they probably have made their way up through the Sus and through the Welkwood and the Gnarly, and have made some secretive travels. Please tell me you have not come across the Dark Brotherhood. The black shield with chains upon it.
Yes. Yes, we have.
We waste time here.
Our arch enemies. The arch enemies of Selene. If you have come across that is indeed grave times. It means they are active again, and they are active on this side of the Jewel River, outside of the Sus.
Do you have much information on them?
I could give you volumes of information, but we should leave that for another time.
Yes.
Indeed, Sir Bartrell waits inside. We bandy about with these vagabonds claiming great things. I think you overstep yourself, Hawk, but in deference to you, let's get them inside.
As you wish, my fine friend. You need a drink.
You see there's a bit of a sneer on the elves' face as they lead you to those front doors. They pull them open. As they pull the doors open, there is a creak of the doors. And the massive doors open up, revealing a large chamber inside, torchlight on the sides of the walls. There are several members of the house guard, and you can see in the distance a figure glinting in armor of gold. And we're gonna do a quick giveaway here now. So our first giveaway is in fact this t-shirt, this Blue Box shirt, in honor of our great fan base, 74 viewers, 77 viewers now, all kinds of great chat, and of course Lord Gasumba being with us tonight. And so this is not going to be a roll-off. This is going to be a quick one-shot, and the winner of the first of 4 giveaways tonight. We got 4. We are just going to blow it out tonight. The first winner is... And of course, D&D player 888. That is Mark. Marcus, congratulations. A longtime fan of our show, a great viewer. And so, Mark, you just need to give me your size, put it on our Discord. And if you're not in our Discord, you should be. So the Discord creds will pop in the chat right now. We have all kinds of stuff that happens in between sessions, all kinds of fun gaming and chat and minis and terrain and all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you're in our Discord. Mark, you just give me your size, and I'll make sure we get this out to you this week. All right, we resume. Before you step through the doors, anyone else? Jay, anything from Hawk or any of the players, anything you want to say?
Hawk says, please give Sir Bartrell your utmost respect and deference. He is a gray elf of the most wizened and eldest of us all, he was severely injured in the Hateful Wars and has not adventured or performed combat since that time. He has a lot of things to think about, but I think he thinks a lot too much, if you understand what I'm saying.
Gimble's going to be quiet, but he's going to, since he's already on the ground, he is going to go to the back of the group and remain solemn and quiet, and Leg staying a little ways back, kind of pushing the time that he can actually get back in the building. Like, he's just staying back and he's looking around.
All right. Anyone else?
Lilith will stay near Hawk.
He says to her, "Whatever your fragrance is, I like it."
Oh, it smells of sweet rolls. Do you want some?
You have it with you? We should not eat in front of the Lord of the House after, he says, after this presentation or whatever this is. Sure.
I don't have any actual sweet rolls. I just have the scent. And she kind of digs in her pocket and she kind of holds up the pot.
Yes. Sure.
And she'll kind of hold the pot out to him, and she'll kind of show him how to do it. You just take a little bit and then put it behind your ear. Yeah.
Master Hawk.
He'll do that just to humor her.
Okay.
Absolutely. And smile. Yes, my friend Brim.
Please.
As he's been getting a little bit more antsy, and he's just holding Ashryn out.
Ah, yes. Well, let's get through with the customary thing we need to do and talk to the Lord.
All right. So let me describe the scene here quickly. For all of our viewers and all of our players, take a look on your screen. So this, with the green light, this is Brim, and he has Ashryn laying atop his shoulders. You have Gimble, the gnome, who's standing toward the back. You have Lilith, who is talking briefly with Hawk. So this is Lilith, this is Hawk. You have Mary Millie, who stands here just a few feet away from Shorewin, who holds his sister, Githa, in his arms, or his half-sister, Githa, the half-orc, in his arms. Around you, you see members of the Gistrul estate, guards, all of them carrying bardishas and blades and bows. And then you see a beautiful woman, Elvin, stands here, her hair flowing, her face both concerned and even a touch haughty. And then behind her, you see what you know must be the lord of this manor, the aforementioned leader of House Gistrul, Sir Vartrell, who stands in the back. His armor gleams. He holds a long blade, or a pole with blade atop it, in his hand, and he sits in front of a throne. And I'll pull up some heraldry and some images in a moment, but there is a sense of formality. There's a sense of ominousness. As you step through these doors, the stone walls of the manor house surround you. Torchlight glints off the walls, and there is utter silence as you step in.
Sir Vartrell will stand up, and you notice that his one leg is probably an inch or two shorter than the other one, and he limps.
And he looks, as you see him here on the screen, although obviously not surrounded by trees. This is an outside scene, but a noble-looking elf with a haughty visage. This interesting weapon he carries atop a pole with the blades, half bardiche, half axe, and his armor is ornate, his hair golden, held back by a diadem. He
stands up and he says to your group, welcome to House Gestrul. Please note, we are cautious always. My friend of many years, Hawk, has I can see in his for him to bring you in here must mean you need assistance. Please understand that it would only not be my concern if it was not for Ashryn's I guess hopefully we can save Ashryn from this demise. Note that we feel like we have always owed House Thronedale. That is a story for politics that I do not want to get into. House Thronedale is one of the 10 noble houses of Selene, whereas we know our place in the structure here, and that we are artisans, we are thinkers, we are crafters, we are spellcasters, we are worshippers, we are followers. And Yolande, Lady Rolta, is to be revered and respected. So with Hawk bringing you in here, please, we will put aside a guest house, and this woman from House Thronedale will go with you and see what can be done, and I will let her speak for herself. And I bid you good day. Because you can see that he does not want to hear any of you talk to him, because he's a gray elf. You don't know how many hundreds of years he has been alive, and he just wanted to make a statement and give a little bit of a blessing about this to happen in his estate, and will bid you onward, knowing that time is of the essence, and also that these things are best left in other person's hands.
As he says this, it is not. You are wise enough to realize it's not utterly dismissive, but it is the dismissiveness of an ancient one whose years span beyond all of yours, who has seen more than you could possibly imagine with your mortal minds. And he speaks words which he thinks are friendly and kind, but has no interest. And he turns and he strides out. His boots clack loudly on the cobbles, and as he touches the wall turns and grinds, and he steps behind it and vanishes. The woman that he referenced stands in front of the throne now, her eyes cast over the room, but they are trained squarely upon the limp body on Brim's shoulders. She is absolutely beautiful. In fact, if you look at your screen, you'll get a view of what she looks like. She is an elf with auburn blonde hair, her eyes of blue azure tint, almost porcelain skin of unbelievable beauty, and there is a haughtiness to her visage which screams a sense of superiority.
Hawk says to the rest of the group, well, that was about as I expected it to go.
With Gimbal in the back, he wants to look around. Are the walls just plain stone? Is there any, I'd imagine, elves of such superiority must have the fancy writing everywhere. Is there any kind of engravings or anything on these walls to indicate something, or is it just plain stone?
Yeah,
there are symbols to Alana and to Hanali Selnal, both deities. There are elven runes that you would find for spellcasters, and also symbols for those types that we considered in modern day engineering type symbols. So there is a mix.
So when you say that, do you mean like arcane symbols when you say for spellcasters, or
arcane symbols? Arcane symbols, yes. But in elvish, with elvish twist to them.
would I be able to recognize them or roll to see if I can recognize what kind of spells are being represented?
Would you, John? Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Me being 1E2, I just say make an intelligence check, but is there?
Yeah, so your intelligence check, I like that. Let's make that, and that's going to be below your intelligence. So if you want to use advantage, you choose the lower of the two rolls. We use that a lot, Jay.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so my intelligence is at 17. I will take off an advantage. Probably don't need to, but I'm going to. I got a natural 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you crushed it then. Go ahead, Jay.
How many times I can say that in a happy way?
A lot of these are of the base magic user spell lists, but with like specialty spells that deal with the elements, like rock to mud, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pass wall is a big one, if you know that spell. Fire shield. Even maybe one you believe is symbols for the spell Wall of Force. Definitely Wall of Stone, Wall of Ice are all about, but a lot of them, are of that. So there are probably, you believe, some high-level magic users either here or at one point were of this house. You see some, in particular, more of Alana than of Hanali Selenol. Alana seems to have the most dominant deity reference and deference over Hanali. It seems like they're more of an Alana worshipping than Hanali. And Alana is both an elven and a human deity, which you find a little strange. But then Millie has noticed this. There are as many half-elves as there are full-blooded elves here. Which, you could draw your own conclusions that when the elves get, so many elves have died over the years. That,
Right.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. We're okay. We're all right.
Okay. I was like, it's frozen. Is it just me?
Gibble, did that answer what
Yep.
you're upset? Okay.
And Gimba will just continue to stay at the back, passively looking at these, kind of not drawing attention to himself, but not getting in the mix of what's happening.
So the woman, she's definitely a full-blooded gray elf, very attractive. She's not smiling. She has John, if you want to pull that up, if you can, this symbol, but the one with the purple around it.
Mm-hmm.
She has a symbol of the Order of Ulick, but it looks a little different. And
That'll pop up in a second. Go ahead, Jake.
Okay.
Keep talking.
it is, I believe that Shorewin would know this.
Yeah, so Shorewin, you see this image, and it is familiar to you. You recognize it as something that you saw as a squire, even in your youth. And I will pull that up on the screen right now. It does look similar to the Order of Ulek, and yet it has some interesting differences to it. And we will go to the monitor. Boom. This is what you see.
Sure, when you know that this is one of the Order of Ulick areas of influence shields, which is for designating Selene in the joint cooperation, and that this person, if they're wearing this openly here, must be of a high level in the Order of Ulick. So you do not know many of elves that being from the county of Ulick, but you know that this one is she must be of some importance in that order to be wearing this.
And that's she's just wearing that's draped on her front, or
she has that, and she actually has that, and you see that she has holy symbols of the elven god Solanor Thalandra about her too, the elven god of archery. It's a good question. She has at her side, she has no armor on. She has at her side another strange weapon, a kapesh, and a longbow. The longbow looks really, really nice. So does the kapesh.
You see, as you're studying this and you notice the armor, the weaponry, the heraldry upon her, there's another figure that steps. She's got a cloak over her head, clearly female, elven. You can see ears pointing out. She whispers something in the ear. Whoops, hold on. I just realized Gimbal is way over there. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Let me get that over there. And wow, this is all jacked up on my monitor. So I just noticed that. Okay.
Yeah, Lily got frozen and had to come back.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so. Lily, way to mess us all up. That's all right. I'll work with this. Our fans are having fun, so who cares? So that's...
while you're doing that, I can.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
All right. So, this woman looks at all five of you, really intently, like her emerald eyes have delved into your souls almost. When she gets to Brim, she looks at you and says, Are you the one that saved my sister?
I think it was all of us. I can't take, I can't take.
And you see, like, he doesn't look stupid. He just looks like he's having a very hard time processing everything that's going on right now. And he's looking down at Ashryn, looking back at the woman, looking down at Ashryn, and just...
You believe that this elf is at least 100 years older than Ashryn. Ashryn is, young in comparison to this.
Right.
In elven terms. She says, well, we should, since Lord Fartrell's given us the go-ahead, let's see if I can assist both of your injured companions. I am Jasia of House Thronedale. It appears Ashryn's charm/item has saved her, which was the point of giving it to her in the first place when she fled unbeknownst to her father without permission, the estate. We should go into the appointed house of guest house and let's see what I can do for her. She looks very down on it and kind of like looking at, this is what, kind of you get the feeling she's like thinking, this is kind of what happens when you don't do what you're told, right? So that's kind of like you always get a motherly like look down upon her. I will talk to all of you shortly, but let's get her into and I am sorry, Sir Cavalier. I do not know your name, but please bring your other companion who is injured along as well. I may be of House Thronedale, but I am of the Order of Ulick, so we need to. If these people, especially my sister, need help, let's not waste any more time.
Okay, party. What are you doing?
Go with her.
Following her?
Get breakfast.
Now
or follow her.
Are we leaving this area to go to another location?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, going to just another building, a guest house.
So Gimbal will he'll mosey out, continuing to just look at walls and if there's any kind of symbols and it makes him lag behind, he'll lag behind. Like he's moseying his way along with the group.
As you're the last one to exit, you see Hawk say, "Impressive, isn't this place?" And then he says to you, "Oh, by the way, your pockets are open," and he hands you 2 things he pilfered from you very easily and gives them back to you.
Thank you. And he'll reach over to shake his hand.
Just messing with you. I'm assuming you're of the same, you have the same aptitudes.
Potentially. It depends on what it might be and the mood I'm in. And his hand is still out to shake his hand after, receiving his stuff.
Shake your hand.
All right. Things can come in handy if need be.
As you
Always,
say,
let's have some fun. Well, maybe we'll play a game later.
Yeah, I'd look forward to that.
So as you say this, you see still the elven guards. While Gray has authority here clearly and is respected, the elves are still quite suspicious. But you do see there's an urgency. The lady of the house, who is Ashryn's sister, she seems to be pushing you along. She looks concerned as she watches what's happening. But there's another elf that's whispering in her ear, and there's deep concern. No one is even looking at Githa. There is almost a complete abandonment of concern for this half-orc woman that is being dragged through the hallways, although the Lord of the house has spoken that she shall be looked at, but there is no sense of real concern on their behalf. As you move down this darkened hallway, any comments or questions from the party?
I'm wondering if I can tell anything about this cloaked elf or hear anything that she might be whispering to Ashryn's sister.
So go ahead and make a perception check.
All right. I'm going to roll this one at advantage.
All right.
That is a 10 on the die plus my perception, so 23.
Yeah, okay. You actually do hear. As she leans over, you hear in a lilting tone, she says,
"It looks like she is beyond aid, and I do not think she can be hoped. We waste time with these mortals."
Can Lilith just do, if she's noticing that they're not really paying attention to Githa, can she do a health check on her?
Sure, go ahead. Roll health check.
21?
What's that, 20?
21 total.
21?
Yeah.
You see, you kind of walk beside Shorwin as he's carrying her body in, and you lay fingers on her neck. You feel a pulse that is even more thready than before. There is still life in her, but it is ebbing. Despite the healing spells that were cast upon her, she seems on the verge of demise. And with sorry, go ahead.
If she were to feel that, she'll just cast Stabilize on her again.
Okay. So as you're walking down the hallway, you hear Lilith. She mutters some words, and a warm light suffuses Githa as you walk down the hallway. Some of the elves look over, initially alarmed, but when they see the nature of the spell, they nod at Lilith. And it is with that we will go to our one and only break tonight. Before we go to break, we're having a great show tonight. Thank you so much, everybody. We're sitting at 81. That's a good viewership. I think our high is close to 85 to 90. Maybe we'll pop that tonight. That would be a lot of fun. If you're watching tonight and you haven't followed us, please give us a follow. All of our followers, thank you for the subs. We've already given away a shirt. And now, before break, we're going to give away a mouse pad. If you have not yet, type _mouse pad. This thing is beautiful. It's matte finish. It's not a sticker. It is actually integrated into the mouse pad. It is great for your PC, guaranteed to give you better gaming if you have a Blue Box mouse pad. And we're going to go to break. And Lilith, is this your long night or your short night tonight?
Long.
Yes, outstanding, because we have so much more to go, and we're going to make Jay's wife mad at him tonight. But we are we are so thankful. All of our mad chatters, thank you so much. All of those that have followed. I did not shout out Tutankhamen. Thank you so much for the follow, and we appreciate you being with us tonight. And then, of course, we have also Adventure in Zin, Art Hard Studios, all new followers, lots of gift subs from Robert, and it's going to be a fantastic conclusion to the back half of the show tonight. So I'm going to give you 5 more seconds while we're waiting for you to type !mousepad, and this could be a straight giveaway, no rolls, just straight giveaway. We're just going to blow it out tonight. And while we're getting ready for that, any questions from our viewers or our audience on what's happened so far? I'm comfortable with awkward silences. They don't bother me at all.
That's good. It's very good. It's very good.
All right. Sugar Punk said, I'm gay, can I still win? Anybody can win. I don't care who you are, what you are, political parties, affiliations. I do just ask that you like D&D. If you don't like D&D...
giveaway.
I said a straight giveaway.
There's a play on words. It's funny.
Well played, sir. I missed this. A Soul can win, Long Talos.
What's up, Rich?
Elves are supposed to be rude, Tim. Isn't that their job?
Can dinosaurs win?
Yeah. No, dinosaurs can absolutely not win. Elves should be a bit haughty. That's my take on that anyway. All right, so here we go. Hello, Ajax24. ! Mouse pad, all one word. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner is Josh! NPC Voices! Oh! Congratulations, Josh. You need a mouse pad. And so that will go out to you this week. I have all your creds and all your info. And we have 2 more giveaways coming after the break. We're going to give away something from Mantic Games. And then also, we have another special Blue Box gift that we're going to give. So 2 more giveaways coming after the break. All kinds of fun role play, perhaps some combat, depending on what the players do, and the nefariousness of Jay and the horrible plans that he has for the party. Those will come after the break. Stay with us. Blue Box will be right back.
Okay.
You said mouse padded armor. Does that count?
So yeah, that's what I'm
Because-
saying. It's like I think it takes it,
Yeah.
even if you add stuff onto it.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering. 'Cause
Gosh dang
I
it.
know you didn't enter it, like, and you're just being silly. But I was looking, because I scrolled back and I'm like, I don't think he said mouse pad, but you said mouse padded armor, and I was wondering if that's the reason why it accepted
Gosh dang it. I'm sorry, guys.
On that note,
That's why I
should
said
Squeaks get some mouse padded armor?
Yeah, I was
Yes,
like,
you
is
should.
Squeak still alive? Is he
yes, he's
good?
just hanging. I'm gonna eat. BRB.
And don't be surprised. Yes, we do leave the mics hot during the break, so that's normal for us.
So hot.
So, John, are you? I don't have my screen up. Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I am
there
here.
you are. I'm sent you one message. I don't know if you want to look at it. It's not super important, but
On
I did
Discord?
send you a message. Yeah, Discord.
Sure. Uh-huh. Yes. The answer is yes, Josh. Or, yes, Roy. So for all of our viewers, while we're on break, if you have questions for our players, we love to answer questions. It's a good time to kind of catch up on what's going on with all things Blue Box and some very interesting stuff happening here tonight. So you are welcome to ask away, and our players will endeavor to answer with a certain degree of veracity.
I'm not very clear when I type fast. I just sent you another one for clarification, and I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Love y'all. See you soon in a few minutes.
So much fun to have Jay with us tonight. Great job with the role play, everyone. And thank you to all of our viewers and all of our fans. You guys are the best. We appreciate you so much, and we're going to give you lots of fun stuff tonight as well. This is Greyhawk number 28, Ashryn on the Brink. Yes, Githa as well. And it's worth mentioning now, Githa was, so that's Shorewind's half-sister, part of his backstory. And what was really interesting last time was that Githa, she was actually, if a DM can ever say something was supposed to happen, she was supposed to die. I was fully prepared and anticipated that Githa would not survive that combat, because once she betrayed Storgajol turned with barbaric ferocity, intent on doing nothing but slaying her. But Millie, with an incredible nat 20 crit at exactly the right moment, managed to slay Storgajol and prevent the killing of Shorewind's sister. It was a pretty epic moment.
John, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, now you can. Okay, good. I never know if, on the headset if I have the on or off buttons.
No, you sound good. I hear you clearly.
All right, cool. Tim always takes partial credit for all the kills.
Not surprising.
So,
Here.
It's back.
Okay.
It's back.
Yeah, I think it's a Twitch thing.
I think it is
Twitch
too.
just flat out crashed for me just now. So.
it was Twitch? Okay, well, that's good to see that it wasn't the stream.
I'm reopening.
Actually, I DM'd Saturday night a special event with the Living Greyhawk people, and the lag was bad. I mean, I guess because Saturday it was just we actually went down once on Saturday. Just sometimes it's tough.
Yeah.
With Twitch lag. Okay, looks good.
What the heck?
Lost the chat. Lost what was going on in chat though.
It's literally my screen's not. It's going black.
I just had to refresh mine.
Yeah. Everyone will come back on. Yeah, Rob, that happens, and just note that no matter how prepared you are, something crazy will happen. And I'll give you an example. I go to update all my streams for this week, and I use XSplit. And I turn XSplit on about an hour before I came on with John, and nothing is working. No, I can't log in presentations. I can't log in anything. And I'm like, what the heck's going on? And I go on my son's machine. I can't do it there either. I'm like, there's something wrong with XSplit. Turns out, I believe one of the add-ons used Flash, and didn't Flash expire today? And Flash is no longer work. Is that what
It expired on the 1st of January.
Okay, so somehow that Flash mod that was in, I was using, and now I couldn't open anything. I had to rebuild I'm not done yet. I mean, this is the crazy stuff that happens with streaming. No warning, just stop working. And it's crazy stuff. So, John, we had a glitch on Twitch.
What happened? Yeah, because I noticed we dropped to 42, which never happens.
Twitch either disconnected completely or there was a lag bubble or something.
Yeah,
it'll come back up.
Yeah, it looks like we're good now. I mean, we're live and okay.
I'm seeing everything.
Cool, Phantom. Well, that's good to see you DM'd on that. That's awesome. Yeah, that was weird, John. Something bizarre happened.
Yeah, I can tell because we had like 81 viewers.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was just a an unfortunate thing that people are coming back on.
Yeah, everything. I didn't do anything here on Slobs. It was the same. So it must have been something.
And if you didn't have to reset the broadcast up, then it was on Twitch's end.
Yeah, it must have been on Twitch. So, hey everybody, thanks so much for jumping back in. I don't know what happened there. So I guess then, Evelyn, will that be consistent for us on our VOD, or will we have to stitch these two together?
I'll look at the VOD once the stream is over, and see if there's something. If it didn't completely stop, it should still all be in one piece. But if not, we can connect them.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Carlos, good to see you. Twitch wants dinos. No, Twitch will not get dinos. No. All right, I'm going to do a one shot with some dinosaurs, and I'm going to kill all the players. I'm going to kill all the players in 30 minutes, and then it'll be over.
And wait, though, for real, I'm totally down to die. I am 100% totally down to die if you run a dinosaur campaign. Even if it's like 30 minutes, like, I am totally down to die.
It'd be called Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Oh, I get it. That's
I see what you did there.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So John, the issue now is the lurkers who stepped away from their machine haven't refreshed.
Exactly. Yes. Down. I know. God, darn it, Twitch.
It's okay. Yes, kicked off and back. We got
refresh.
Kicked off and back. Sorry, everybody, but thanks for your patience. All right. So we're gonna resume here in just one moment. I'm going to show you the grand prize. So tonight, we've already given away a mouse pad and a shirt. We're going to give away a blue box mask. And that is my thank you, Wastelander18, for the follow. That's my white flag of surrender to all things COVID. Just masks are part of our reality for some time. And if you're going to wear a mask, you might as well wear a blue box mask. And they're really nice. I've got one over here I'll show you in just a minute. But the grand prize tonight, one of our newer sponsors is Mantic Games and their Kings of War set. I gave away Treant. Tonight, we're giving away this giant, an entire boxed. This sucker is massive. I actually wanted to unbox him and paint him myself, but I wanted to make this a fun giveaway for tonight. So we'll talk about that again in a moment. We'll do two more. So we'll have the mask and then the giant. Thank you, Jay. We appreciate that. All right. We're ready to resume. I think we got most of our viewers back in. Thank you so much. And you see what you see before you here. As you step through, you go down a long hallway. You hear the echoing sounds of the hallway. You step into a room which looks almost like a temple, an altar, if you will, a chapel inside of this estate. You see pillars which reach to the ceiling, supporting the structure. They have ornate inscriptions on them, scroll-like tops to them, which extend toward the ceiling. Torches gutter against the far walls, and there is an altar here in the back of the room. You see the elven woman that had spoken to you earlier, and I'll put her image back up again. She stands now behind the altar, and she looks with concern at the party as you step through. And then you see the woman in the cloak that spoke those words that Millie overheard stands just beside her. As you step through, there is a sense of somberness You see inscriptions on the walls, many of the same words and the script that you saw previously are here inside this room. And as you step in, there is a sense of somberness and concern.
So Millie, you overheard in the hall when you heard that first. Jadzia said back, "It is my own shortcomings that are the issue here, and we have to go above and beyond normal means." And that's what she said to the other woman. So
the other woman turned to her.
Yes, indeed. Well beyond normal means. I do not know even if one such as you has such power.
My power is limited by my own shortcomings of wisdom. Unfortunately, when you do not concentrate enough on your clerical duties and your duties to Solinor, and I'm more concerned with moving troops and keeping Celine safe, this is what happens.
She nods in deference and steps back. You walk in, you see these pillars, you see this altar before you, and she motions to Brim, who still carries the body of Ashryn at the altar.
So is there room for both? Because we can't have Shorwyn carrying around one, or we should place them both down somewhere. Correct?
Yeah. So Shorwyn has the body of Githa.
Okay.
The altar only will accommodate one at a time.
Oh boy.
So here's Githa. See her here, Githa. She is right here. She's beside Shorwyn. And again, the elves are paying little attention to her. They look at Ashryn in Brim's arms, and they motion toward Brim.
Again, Gimble's going to do the same thing, seeing their focus on whatever attempt of healing that they're going to do. He wants to, again, pay extra close attention to anything on any inscriptions or symbols or stuff on the altar. Without getting close, he's going to stay in the back. There's no guards or anything, correct? It is just us.
That's right, yes. So as you see here on the screen, you have Brim, you have Ashryn, Millie here, you have Hawk standing in the back of the room as he asked. You have Shorwyn here close to his half-sister, Lilith standing close to him. She's kind of behind the pillar here. I'll move over here. You have Brim with Ashryn and Gimble here to the side. Let me move Gimble where he's easier to see.
So Gimble will be backed by Hawk.
Okay.
And he'll just brush his hand, not even like he's trying to pick a pocket, just brush his hand on Hawk's hand, like the backs of the hands, and he'll just pay attention to the walls, the pillars, anything with inscription without getting into the mess of the group.
All right. Again.
He says, just remember one thing, don't ever split the party.
All the time.
He's like, oh, I better be somber. Jadzia is going to look at both and determine if the wounds are equally grievous.
No, so she looks. It's clear that Githa, while not well, is in nowhere near as dire of straits as Ashryn. Ashryn, she hangs in the balance of life.
So surprisingly, Jadzia says, "Please place your friend Githa on the altar, please. First."
Shorwyn looks at the elf, walks forward and sets Githa down, but doesn't leave her side.
All right, so Shorwyn, you step beside the altar. It's a beautiful altar, but cold gray stone. You lay the body of Githa atop it. The beautiful elf that stands behind, it's almost mesmerizing. You sense an aura that emanates from her. And as you lay the body of your half-sister, you feel a warm pulse. She's still quite alive on the cold gray stone of the altar. The elf that stands behind it emanates power and says,
I thought, oh, you, I'm sorry, I got a little confused.
Yeah, no.
She says, I believe let's take care of the immediate, one of the two here that I know we can save immediately. She says a little incantation to Sol Northalandra, and Cass starts beginning an incantation, pulls out the proper components that are necessary, which seem to be fairly expensive for this spell, and casts the spell Cure Critical Wounds. Okay.
You see this powerful eminence that comes from her hands. The entire room fills with a bright white light, and then it turns alternately to a green color. The feeling of healing suffuses the room as the spell is cast, and Githa, she begins to shudder atop the altar. As this happens, she then slides off the side as the green light again suffuses the room, and she coughs. Shoin!
Githa, are you all right?
Oh, where is Stokazol? Where is he?
He's gone. The dragon took care of him.
The dragon? She looks around like she's disoriented. She kind of staggers. She stumbles forward. She falls into Shorewind's arms. Shorewin, you feel her body trembling as she falls into your arms, and she mutters, "Can it be over? Can it be over? Can it possibly be over?"
It is over. He is gone. He will not bother you again. I guarantee it.
You feel her body shudders strong. You feel sinew and muscle and strength. She's your height and just a bit over. And as she falls into your arms, there is this strange alloy of vulnerability and strength. And she just slides to the ground. A conscious, strengthened, but weary and tired. And she slumps to the ground beneath your feet.
Come, let's move to the side. There's another that's been injured that needs to be healed as well. And I owe that one my life. And I'm going to try and gently move her off to the side so Ashryn can be taken care of.
All right, you pull her to the side. She is slumped and inert in your arms, but you feel a strong beat of her heart. The altar now lays open. Brim still clutching the body of Ashryn. The rest of the party, Grey, is silent to this point. Anyone else doing anything as you see all this?
Shorewind's going to look at the woman, the elf. Now, save her as well, please.
She is my kin. I will do my best, but I believe that my shortcomings are going to be her demise. But I will try. Place her on the altar, please.
Brim will quickly move forward and just lightly, carefully place her onto the altar. And just kind of keeping not eye contact, but looking down at Ashryn, he'll just stay close by, but he'll take a step back and just clutch to the skull amulet around his neck. Not the black one that they got a while back, his religious symbol, and he'll just start to pray.
All right, as Brim does this, anyone else doing anything else?
With Gimbal still looking around at the walls, has he noticed anything? He's not completely paying attention. He knows what's going on, but he's not completely paying attention to the healing.
So I'll defer to Jay. Jay, anything else that Brim or the Gimbal might know?
Just note that this place, seems to probably not have these kind of issues for a long time within these walls. I mean, they're pristine and it's very well kept. So, passersby are not tended like this, or a fellow elf, as there have not been a lot of goings abouts and battles for years in the area.
Okay. We'll just stand by Hawk, still kind of in the back, just watching and watching.
John, I
Yes.
just sent you a message. If you could check that quick.
Sure, I got it.
So Jacia does her same exact incantation and spell, same exact, but the effect is not sufficient of the cure critical wounds. And she says, "I figured that this would be. We are. I just don't know. I don't know what to do. It's my. Why? And she starts saying, why to herself. Why didn't you listen? You were told not to go adventuring until you were 170, and you left at 160. You should have listened. I waited. Your sister Rael waited. Your sister Chantel waited. You should have waited. You were not ready."
The other elf steps forward, and again she whispers in the ear of the one that stands over the altar. Thank you, L Hawk. We appreciate that. All the support. You guys are awesome. Type !mask. Has the body. Brim lays Ashryn on the altar. Her body is. It feels almost diaphanous at this point. It is so light, and you barely feel any thread of pulse. Everybody gets advantage from Patrick. Thank you, Ancient Gamer. You barely feel the pulse as you lay her body on the altar, and you see the other whispering, and you hear something as she speaks. Go ahead and roll D20 for me, Shorwin. And also Brim. Both of you are close to the altar.
Rolling with advantage.
I was going to say with advantage, right?
Yep, go ahead.
15?
16.
15 and 16. Okay. As you lean close and lay the body on the altar, you hear the one lean over to the central figure, the one that is clearly the eldest sister, Jacia, Ashryn's eldest sister. As she leans over, she speaks a word and says, "This is beyond the healing of any natural ability. It will require white spur." And she steps back.
She says, "White shiver? White shiver. I don't know if we can find white shiver." And they seem to be talking amongst themselves, ignoring everyone there. The white shiver is the closest I've ever heard of. White shiver is in the bottom of the Tower of War in Greyhawk City, in the ruins of Greyhawk. I don't know is there where would there be white shiver within 500 miles?
And so the other elf, she bows and nods and steps back.
There may be one place, and only one place we could guess. So Jacia says, this is beyond me, and with my capabilities, if it's beyond me, it is beyond any priest within any distance in northern Selene. And it makes it breaks what I'm sorry, what little heart I have. And I cannot lay blame on you because she is impulsive and does things, as you probably know. She does not think first and reacts immediately, unlike what a member of House Thronedale should do. But there is probably one or two places I can think of that may hold what I need, and that is a rare mushroom called white shiver. There are ancient and abandoned dwarven mines in the Lort Mills, some that are very deep, where there's a possibility of this white fungi may grow. But someone would have to depart quickly, and I am not even sure you would find any. That is the only hope.
I will go. You may not appreciate the fact that she was impulsive, but it is that impulsiveness that has kept me alive today. I will do what I need to do to help her.
As you say this,
your forthrightfulness and your absolute tone and love of her gives me pause for that you may actually be successful, and I appreciate that. But that is one of 5 I've heard that from.
the other elf, she steps up beside and she whispers again into the ear. She turns to the party.
The white shiver, it can aid.
She lays her fingers on the pulse of Ashryn's neck.
She will not survive. There must be a sacrifice. Will one of you give of yourselves to sustain her?
Kind of sacrifice.
She heaves a heavy sigh. She pulls auburn locks from the side of her head and says,
I cannot know. It is of the gods. But it will not come without cost.
Ashryn hangs in the balance to seek this white shiver and to travel. She may be a cold corpse by the time we return. But I believe I have a channeling which can conduct the essence of one of you into Ashryn and provide her time.
This is being said to the whole group, right?
Yep.
Yes, like she's speaking to the whole group.
Shorwin rubs his left eye, looks at the group, looks back. I will give of myself, but does that mean that I would not be able to travel?
No. Lilith will stand up as Shorwin says those words.
Yeah.
She'll look at him and say, "You've sacrificed enough."
Yeah, could you please shut up?
And Lilith will kind of smirk at Brim as he says that, and she'll say that I'll do whatever you need.
Shorwin raises his hand once again. Lilith, Ashryn is there. Whoever goes needs a healer. You are the only one among us that can do it. Brim, your strength, your armor, mine is in tatters. They will need you at the front of the line. Millie, we know how quick you can be, and you took down that orc without even trying. You need to go as well. And Gimbal, your cunning, your smarts, without it, this group will fail in its mission.
Shorwin. Can we ask a few more questions first? Before throwing ourselves in again. We've already almost lost one of us.
Hawk says, perceptive from the large one.
And then Brim will look around and realize where he is and just automatically shut back down, but he'll look back up towards the altar.
Will this sacrifice be permanent, mistress?
You see the elf in the cloak. She turns and nods to the beautiful, and I'll pull her back on the screen so you can see the beautiful sister of Ashryn, and that will pop up now. And she nods, and the sister looks over at her. I'll let Jay roleplay.
These are dark arts she is discussing of the necromantic nature, which is beyond my capability. So the answer to that is probably something will be of a permanent mar to you, whoever volunteers. I unfortunately will say that. And if none of you volunteer, then I will have to do this myself.
Shorwin, if anything else is taken from you, you'll be no use to any of us.
Shorwin chuckles softly. I have sat and looked at my entrails on the ground. Truthfully, friend, I don't even know if I have the same strength that I once had before. I cannot see well, or as well as I once did. And that body there dove in front of a flying axe to protect me.
So that is what happened, Jasia says. Maybe she does have a little bit of impulsiveness, but that is really brave.
More than many people could do.
Brim looks around at the party.
If there's anyone here to sustain her life,
And he looks around himself.
I think I have the most life to give. I'm only 22. More muscle than really is needed.
Gil says Gimbal has an extra ear or two.
John, I sent you a DM.
Okay, pulling up. Thank you.
Yep.
Another one? We already have two.
What we need is a third.
And we're gonna add in another DM. Hang on.
Hawk says to Lilith, I think your sacrifice was first, and it's really appreciated. I won't forget it, whatever the decision is. After Shorwin, of course.
And the answer is yes.
Okay, then she'll do that.
So tell me what you do.
While the group is kind of discussing amongst themselves, Lilith will kind of remove herself from the group and walk over to I forget what her name is, the beautiful lady.
Jasia.
Yeah. And just kind of give her a nod, as in to go ahead and do it. What she needs to do.
As you step forward and you give the nod, she sighs heavily. You all see this, so I'll pause. If anyone wants to do anything differently, you see this happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gimbal. Does Millie notice Lilith go forward, since Millie's just kind of been observing this whole thing?
Yeah, everybody sees everything happening. There's nothing in secret.
So then Millie's gonna immediately go up and take Lilith's hand.
So Lily, as you walk to the altar, Millie leaps forward and grabs your hand.
And Lilith will stop and turn towards her and put her other hand on top of Millie's hand, and then remove her hand and put it just by her cheek, and kind of just look at her, just make solid eye contact, and kind of just nod, and then turn away and walk towards the altar.
So
he's
she's
just gonna
basically
follow
shaking
her.
you off.
I'm staying with her.
Okay. Anyone else?
So are we literally all around this altar then right now?
Sounds like it.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody's around. It's what you see on the camera. If you look at the camera, I know you're all kind of working back and forth between Zoom and Twitch,
right.
but
So
yes.
I'm gonna look at the elf. I understand that you need a sacrifice. Each of us in this group is willing to sacrifice. My question for you is, can you take a piece of each of us rather than all from one?
Yes, John. Yeah. Unfortunately, I believe this effect does not work that way.
We still haven't asked. Does this incapacitate us for a period of time?
The other steps forward. You trouble the lady with questions. It will not render you unconscious. I will not prevent you from traveling, but you will pay a price. You will lose some of your puissance.
Don't have time.
Sorry, Josh, you didn't hear that. She said, you will lose some of your puissance.
I think he's saying puissance?
Puissance.
Puissance.
P-U-I-S-S-A-N-C-E. Puissance.
It's on dictionary.com.
Thank you. We're back.
Please let me know when you find it out.
Google it.
Puissance, a competitive test of a horse's ability to jump large obstacles in show jumping.
I think it might more be the archaic definition.
I feel like this is all about Winston at the moment.
Great power, influence, or prowess.
Okay.
Oh.
And now that Lilith is giggling.
We got a giggle fit.
Oh no, I'm not gonna be able to jump.
All right.
A horse.
All right, rein it in. So she says,
Okay.
she says basically what I'll just like plain English. She's saying it's not something that can be amalgamated between all of you. One of you must make a sacrifice. There will be a depletion of some ability or power that you will face, but you will not be incapacitated. That's sort of like plain English of what she says.
So Hawk says real quickly to the group, Lilith, you have a spark of life, and it brings me joy. I think that her sacrifice would be of most benefit to Ashryn.
Did I do a sense motive on him?
Yep. Roll d20. Add your bonus, and I'll let Jay adjudicate.
Can each of us do this? Because
Yeah, all of you do it. Jay, you
Wonderful.
got this.
not that we don't trust you. oh, Natty 20!
Oh, yay!
Natty 10.
You got a 19.
There's no such thing as a natty
24.
10.
They are noble.
And that's a 28 total.
So Shorwin, who stands just a few feet away from the body of Ashryn, who saved him from death, he has the strongest sense.
He has the strongest sense
No
of,
sense of what?
No, I'm not. This is Jay's call. This is Jay's NPC.
Oh,
it's
this
his
is Jay-
call.
okay.
I have a
Yeah.
sense
Yeah.
that his intentions and motives, being such a long-term, seasoned, legendary adventurer, is probably sincere and direct and correct.
So Shorwin looks at Hawk after he's finished saying what he said. I haven't spoken much to you, but I feel that I can trust what you say. Lilith, if you're willing. And he just nods.
She'll look at Shorwin before he turns away and just nod back at her and head up to the altar again, hoping that she's not going to get stopped this time.
No, you're right in front of the altar now.
Okay. And she'll look at her and say, I'm ready.
Jacia looks over and says, let's get this done with.
All right. So, as she steps forward, Jacia begins a ritual atop the altar. She prays a stabilization beyond what you know is stabilizing. This is something very, very different that she's doing, giving time for the procuring of the white shiver, which must be part of the what happened to Ashryn. She took the axe of Stor Gajol squarely in the chest, her sternum severed into the internals of her body. It's an absolute miracle that she still breathes at this point. And to do this is not simply, and this is, by the way, what we do here on Blue Box, it's not just easy. Thank you, Jay Birchfield 3. It's not just easy healing or heal spells or cure serious. This is a mortal wound that she suffered, and she yet survives by the efforts of the party, the gifts of our viewers, our mad chatters, and the incredible role play that's happened. As you step forward, you see the lady casts her hands over the body, and there is the sound of magics as she casts her hands over. Lilith, roll d20 for me, please.
Can I roll at advantage?
Absolutely, you should.
Okay. 16.
Lilith, you place your hands on the altar. You feel a resonance. There is divine power that comes through the cold stone of the altar. Oh, thank you, Patrick. Cold stone that comes through the altar. As you touch your hands upon it, there's an image that floods your mind. The image is of a flower. A flower sitting in a pot beneath Federum's guiding hand back in Hamlet. The flower wilts and falls back to the soil, dying. Something Jeru had given you. Lost, sacrificed, and gone. There's a steadying of the pulse. And Ashryn, though still pale, Ashryn, but no longer on the verge of death.
Jacia says to her companions, we will give you direction, if you so shall go, to these ancient mines in the Lord Mills. I believe we're going to need at least 6 of these white shiver mushrooms. At least 6. Please, if you can locate them. I am not confident that but I do not know of any other place where they would grow in our lands. And I cannot send you to Castle Greyhawk, so this would be, please, if you would take on this quest, I would appreciate it. My family, House Thronedale, would appreciate it, and then the Order of Ulick would appreciate it. She looks over at Brim and she says, Brim, please note that while you are of a half-breed of, I believe, of ogreish descent, note that your fate is not set in stone. We have one in particular companion of mine. His name is Mungo Woodchip. He is a priest of Alana. He is a member of the Order of Ulick, and he is of the same background and race as you are. He is as smart as a wood chip, but he has a great heart. He has a wonderful heart. So note that the order takes all. Half orc, half ogre, dark elf, deep gnome, does not matter. What I do in Selene is to protect my beloved nation and my beloved brethren of Grey Elves, but note that what I do for the Order of Ulick is protect all of the Phalanx from vileness and evil, which is everywhere. I hope that sunk in.
He
says
looks just so abashed, so confused and awestruck by. He was listening to you, but right as you said, I'm going to assume they are a very wise individual. Right as you said that they are a cleric, his just entire demeanor changed.
Of the Lady of the Forests. Note that no one's path is set in stone. No one's path is set to be definite. You can make of yourself of what you so choose. And she looks at all of you and says the same thing. And looks over at Millie and says to Millie, you've been awfully quiet the entire time. Either you have little to say, or you have so much to say that you do not know where to begin. Or you are a deep thinker. She smiles at you. Or my sister has perturbed you on more than one occasion. I do not know which it is.
Ashryn moans and turns over on the altar as he says this.
Did she say something, or no? She just moans.
She just moaned. Just moaned.
Yeah.
I know the value of a sister, so there's lots to observe here. That is all I will say.
Lilith will have her head down, looking at Ashryn. She's kind of staring blankly at her, and she doesn't look up when she is talking to Jasiah. She just says, "How much time do we have?"
Maybe a week at maximum.
Okay.
I will stay here until you return.
The other elven woman, she steps behind the altar. She walks forward, auburn hair pulled behind her hood, and she looks squarely at Shorwin.
You are bound to Sirhan, but I sense a haunting in your soul.
She looks over at Githa, who she's struggling, growing in strength, but still not herself.
Have you learned nothing, Cavalier? It is not a place here in the Flanness to be Cavalier.
Jordan's just going to look at her for a moment. And then he's going to turn away and step over to Millie. Millie, can you take Githa to the cart? I do not feel like she should be left here when we leave.
Of course. That
Hawk says
that
to
makes
you.
sense.
Hawk says to you, if you have that reservation, I would ensure that her safety, she would be safe here, or wherever you were to place her, whether it's here on Gistrul or at my family's estate. It would at Paddle Meal, which it would be. You should not have to worry about her when you have such a egregious and dangerous task to fulfill.
Jordan looks at Hawk for a moment.
I hate being this serious, he says.
There are times that serious is needed.
I've known a lot of your type over and during my existence. Lord Florimond, Lord Page, Sir Harn. They are very serious. Sometimes it's just you have to live your life and you have to be happy. Or what is it all worth? What is it all for?
Easily spoken from one who lives much, much longer than I do.
Well, we have some things in common, he says. Are you missing your eye still? I'm sorry.
It's not missing, but it's whited over.
It's white and blind in one eye, yes.
Yeah, my left eye.
He says, I will show you the scars on my legs at some time.
We can discuss that soon.
He says, yes. But he also, Josiah steps in real quick and says to you, Sherwin, I hope you're back in time. It is Needfest, and during the week of Growfest, the Grand Joust of Altamira will be taking place, and there's no one better to serve in Sir Harn's place and to compete in that than you. Plus, the returning champion is a nemesis of Sir Harn. Similar, his name is Sir Flux. Wears all black armor. Of course he does, right? He has black armor on, and he has a symbol on with black and blood red battlements, with a lightning bolt running down the middle of the heraldry, and notes that maybe you could be the one to unhorse him. I would hope that you would compete on behalf of Sir Harn.
We can see if that is possible after we save Ashryn, one thing at a time. I trust you. I trust that you will look after Githa. Do not let any harm come to her, and we will return soon.
All guarantees that. It says to you all, I will. Once we leave, I will accompany you for a few miles to talk some stories on the road until you make it to the Lord Mills. Then I will turn back, if you so shall have me.
Shorwin looks at the rest of the group.
I would like to talk with Lilith a little bit more. All of you, of course, but Lilith in particular.
Yes, I would imagine it would be good for us to get rest. It's been long and enduring getting here, and stories are always good to share. And he'll look at Hawk and kind of like give a slight grin and not really a wink, but give a grin of, yes, stories are good to share, with an emphasis on share, like talk.
As these words are spoken, the body of Ashryn is ushered off the altar. You see guards come in, and they carry her behind doors to the back. There's a prayer that's quickly uttered, and she soon vanishes from view.
In the moment, Millie's going to turn to Shorwin. She's going to reach out for his hand. She's going to slip the locket that he threw to her right before the fight with Storgojol, and she's going to press it into his hand and close his hand around it and say, I do believe you asked me to make sure that Githa got this, and I do believe that you should be the one to return it to her.
Shorwin looks. Thank you. Thank you for everything. And he slips over to Githa, and she's still on the ground.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
okay.
she's kind of like she's struggling up slowly.
Right.
She looks you in the eyes as she stands to her feet. Brother, I am sorry. As I said before, he threatened to kill all of our family. I know not how I live, but I give thanks to you.
Githa, you are safe now. Listen, the one that we brought in here with you, she saved my life. I need to now save hers. He takes the locket, he holds it, looks at it.
The pale elf.
Yes.
Okay, so be it. Then, yes, brother.
We found your locket, and he takes her hand, opens it, and sets it back in. Hold on to this. You need rest. You're not ready for this adventure yet. You will be soon enough, I hope. We will be back soon. I have word from the elf over there, Hawk, he calls himself, that he will make sure you are safe, and I believe that he will.
So you wish me to stay here?
I wish you to listen to Hawk. If he chooses to keep you here, he had mentioned possibly taking you to his manor, but I trust him over... And Shorewin kind of points around at the other elves. These others.
She looks at you, her eyes cut toward Hawk, her eyes cut back towards you. You see some pallor, receding color returning to her cheeks. As she stands, her shoulders are almost as broad as yours. And she looks at you and says, I place no trust in that one. And she nods toward Hawk. But I trust you. I will stay. And she turns and moves back toward the back of the room, seeking the help of the elves.
Justia says you can choose to spend the night here in the guest house or leave and camp and go on the road immediately and camp somewhere. You'll be in Selene for at least a day and a half. So it'll be safe. That is your choice, but please come back as quickly as possible, and also hopefully with the items that we will require, the 6 white shiver mushrooms. I thank you, and except my family thanks you for the attempt, and the Order of Ulick will thank you, and we can discuss things when you are back. But I think I've talked enough.
May we see Ashryn before we leave, mistress?
Of course.
So she says this. As she turns and nods, you see some of the elves, they come walking back in. They lay the body of Ashryn back upon the altar. Let me show this here for you on the cam. They lay the body of Ashryn back on the altar. You see there is color that's returned to her cheeks, but her chest rises slowly up and down. Still no sign of consciousness, but several signs of strength.
Shorewin walks over to the altar and takes a knee and bows his head. And this is uncharacteristic of him, but says a prayer.
Okay. Shorewin, before the altar. Ashryn, lays on that altar. And for those who are newer to our show, we got 70 plus viewers. Thank you, all of you that came back in, even though we lost our stream apparently for some weird Twitch reason. Thank you so much. But Shorwyn has had this interesting relationship with Ashryn, where she was somewhat infatuated, spoke with him often, and yet when his entrails were spilled in the dust outside the Kron Hills, a horrible critical hit from Storgajol, which put him nigh unto death, it was Ashryn that fell to his feet and plunged the needle, which was spoken of earlier by Jay. It was a needle of heal, her one powerful artifact that she held. She gave that to Shorwyn to save his life. So now Shorwyn kneels before Ashryn as she lays across his altar, not on death's door as she was before, but still unconscious and helpless. Shorwyn.
And so Shorwyn's come across quite a few holy people in his travels, and remembering from one of the past clerics that he had met in his travels, he remembered a prayer of watching, and so he kneels and very quietly says, "Watch over." And he takes a deep breath, because this is, again, it's not something that he does. It's not something that he's done often. Watch over this figure. Watch over her as if I was watching over her. Let no harm come to her. She is strong. She will be well. He just bows his head, stands up, turns to the group, and says, "We should probably get started."
Shorwyn's boots scrape on the cobblestones as he stands up after his prayer. Ashryn's chest slowly rises and falls. The torches gutter on the walls, and he looks at you and says, as he said,
Lilith will come up to the altar silently. She's more somber and quiet than she normally is. And she'll stand there for a second, just kind of looking at her, and pull out that pot that she got from Fedrum, the sweet roll scent. And you'll notice that a tear will fall from her face, and she'll just take some of it and put it behind her ears, and then lean forward and whisper into her ear, "We'll be back. Just wait for us." And she'll turn around.
Well played, Lilith. Well played, Shorwyn. Well, so you say the prayer, you hover over her, you place the scent behind her ears. Anyone else doing anything before you leave?
Is the cloaked elf still in the room as well?
Yes. So the lady of the house, Gistrul, they've all left, or they've all left. But the cloaked woman still stands in the room beside Ashryn's body.
Millie's gonna walk up to her and very quietly, she's going to say, "For shame. I heard the words you said. Trying to talk a woman out of saving her own sister. For shame." And then Millie will just turn and walk away, back toward the rest of the party.
As you walk away, she says, but I, and you walk away and the words die on her lips.
Brim will look around and move forward and pull his pack off his back and open it up. And he'll pull out this little white furred bear. And he'll put it on her chest.
Oh no! Oh, All right, so we got a lot of new viewers here. Brim, you need to tell everyone what that bear is that you just put on her chest.
So, this little white bear he got at the very beginning of the campaign when he went, oh gosh, there was a little girl who had been through a lot of trauma, and her parents were unsure how to help her. She was unsure of herself, and Brim, having been through a lot of trauma in his life, asked to talk with her. And in talking with her, he tried to give her as much comfort along with the help of the party, delivering different items to her. And before she left, after hopefully feeling better and feeling stronger about herself, knowing that the trauma will not leave her, but that she can grow stronger from it, that she gave to Brim this little white bear to bring him comfort and love.
Well said. And so just to put a fine point on that, this was part of the Red Lord's occupation of the ancient moat house outside of Hamlet, and some affiliation with the Dark Brotherhood, which you're still trying to sort through. Halia was somehow associated with them, and this little girl had witnessed atrocities. It was a very touch-and-go session for Blue Box because we're very careful about what we do here, but there was abuse that had occurred. Her mother, her family, and this party had rescued her. And you, as you talk to her back in the Welcome Wench, Ostler Gundigut, just up on the second floor, as she spoke with you, she gave you this bear as a gift of thanks and trust, and now you have placed it on the chest of Ashryn. This is a big moment.
So he's going to take out this little bear, and he's not going to quickly just like, yeah, here it is. He's going to look at it and just squeeze it softly, and he's going to put it on her chest, and he's going to brush whatever little hair she has back.
He's going to be here to protect you. For right now, while I can't. You'll be in my prayers every night. Hopefully when we get back, that hairpin will actually do something. Please just be safe.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. And yes, Matt Chatters, they're on fire. Okay, so the second to last giveaway. As we're coming down the home stretch here. The winner of the mask, or the mouse pad, no, mask. It should be mask, right? Hang on here, mask.
Yes, mask.
Mask is next. I already did mouse pad. And the winner of the mask is... Oh, wait. Everybody type it in again. I think there was a problem with Nightbot. So everybody type !mask. And then we're going to do the big giveaway after this, which is the Mantic Games King of War Giant. This sucker is monster. That will be our final entry. All right. So, Jay.
That was awesome.
Yes, it really was. And so Hawk now is with the party. The party stands inside this antechamber where the ceremony has happened. The guards take Ashryn's body again with the cloaked woman that you spoke to, and they carry her body back behind the door that is behind them. As they do so, the door opens, they disappear behind, and in moments, it is the party alone. Githa went back as instructed by Shorewind with them. It is the party alone with Hawk in the room, and I'll pull that up on the monitor.
Cool.
Now, John, the direction that we're going, would this be an area that I would know?
So it would be adjacent to an area that you know. So I'll pull that up. Actually, here, let me show you on a map. Hang on 1 second.
Hey, look, guys, I'm on a map. Get it? Show you on a map.
And who made this map, everybody?
Anna B.
Anna B. Miners, Anna B.
Because I always keep it up in another window so I can keep looking at places.
Yes. Okay, hold on. But I got to pull up the one that Jay sent me. I think that's in my Discord.
Yeah, Northern
Jay.
Selene.
Yeah, I know. I've got, because we got all your adjustments to it. So let me pull that up.
And then, sorry, just to double check, are we talking about going right away or staying a night then going?
Oh, Shorewind's going right.
It's up to you.
All right.
What you do
you tell me what you're doing.
I'll tell you what Shorewind's going to do. Not me. I'd stay. I'd want some sleep, but...
when he's gonna go.
Will you stay? Or
Or
will you go?
John, and unfortunately, my time is at an end tonight if I want to stay married.
No, I was just responding to you, Jay. So if you don't mind,
D&D?
I want you to stay married. I got this, Jay. Can you leave your cam on so I don't have to?
I will,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, leave your cam on so I don't have to mess with anything, and we can just look at the TV in the background. But everybody, we're not done. We got about probably 20 minutes or so left if all the players are good.
I'll leave everything on. It's
And let's give a big round of applause to Jay. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, my friend. And the party has.
John asked me to do this. I was like, sure, this will be fantastic. I get to role play some characters I haven't played in a long time, and they're integral to my campaign and all. And thank you all for that. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hope they got a little
You didn't
taste
kill
of-
us.
Oh, no. You got a
Too
little
bad.
taste of elven culture in the in northern Selene, and just how they're very suspicious, and because they've been through a lot over. If you really should read Tommy John Kelly's Greyhawk stories on the Hateful Wars. That is a fantastic blog, and he goes over a lot of details of what happened all those years ago when they drove all the humanoids out of the lore mills. And that's where a lot of death has occurred. And plus, in my campaign, the elves have taken a beating over the years. So
I think that's so true. And Jay, it was funny. I thought tonight, just the way it worked out, because you played Hawk, I was the bigger elf jerk. But anyway, thanks so much, and say hi to your wife, and good night, sir.
Hawk.
all right. So thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh, trust me,
Hawk.
Hawk. It takes a lot to get Hawk a little excited about a female elf, and kind of Lilith's got him a little flustered. So, we'll have to continue that at a future date too.
Yes.
Absolutely. I put Jasia's and Hawk's stats in Order of York directives in the Discord. So if everyone wants to take a look at how high level Hawk really is. So he's character's 40 years old. So absolutely. Best friend of Gazumba. It's been fun. It's been a blast. So I'll see you all soon. All righty.
All right, thank you,
All
Jay.
right, thank you.
Good fun.
All right.
This is just one of many collaborations that Jay and I are going to be working back and forth.
Much more to come.
We are good
Absolutely.
friends, and thank you, Jay. Have a good night,
See you
my
soon.
friend.
All
All right, see you.
Bye-bye.
All right, so the giveaway. Let's go ahead and launch that. Our third of 4 tonight. The winner of the mask is Cardman. Congratulations, Cardman. That is a friend of our show. He has, I believe, previously won. Let me pull it up here. So yeah, that's Ian. And Ian, he's already won a mask. Okay, so Ian, instead of a mask, I've got to switch that up for you, my friend. You're going to get a hat. All right, now, a quick timeout from the drama. For the hat, I have a question. And Evelyn, if you can put up a poll. The poll, I'll tell you right now, and I'll show what it's going to look like. Yeah. Do the viewers prefer embroidered or stamped hats? And I'm going to show you examples of both. So embroidered or stamped hats. I'm going to give Cardman a hat, and he can choose which. And I'll show you examples of these. And we still have some role play to do tonight. There's still some good stuff that's going to happen here in the next 20, 30 minutes. I'm excited about it. So let me grab this real quick, and I'll be right back while the poll pops up. Embroidered or stamped hats?
Dinosaurs.
Already voted. Done. I knew what I was voting for there.
Yeah.
You're muted, Lilith.
You guys hear me?
No, you're still muted. That's weird.
Yep.
No,
Okay.
I was just
That's
kidding.
a Josh thing.
Yeah, a sneaky little bastard.
You guys can hear me?
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
can hear you, Rory.
and I'm gonna give the option for our winner tonight. So Cardman, Ian can choose between either one of these, but this is an example of the stamped hat. So it's the vinyl stamp. It's all a single color. It's a little bit larger. This is an example of the embroidered hat. So it's full color on it. It's a little bit smaller. We could probably adjust that. So you can pick, do you like this look better or do you like this look better? Rory's rocking the embroidered right now himself. So let me put this on here. I won't send this to you. These will be, we'll get new ones, not worn ones.
What if they? What if they?
So this is the stamped.
Previously worn by John.
Yeah.
Hat.
This is the stamped
That's how I get all my clothes.
Yeah.
Previously worn by John.
And
I like that.
Previously worn by. This is I got to adjust it. These are adjustable.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
why you're coming to town for your yearly
yeah,
stuff.
that's the embroidered hat here. It's really nice either also. So choose if you like the embroidered or the stamped. And everybody is crushing it with the embroidered. Oh, it's not even close. Okay, embroidered for the win, no doubt about it. All right, so Cardman, Ian, you're getting a hat. So we're going to send you an embroidered hat, and that leaves one more giveaway tonight. Don't leave us. There's great role play to come still. But of course, we have this giveaway. Our friends at Mantic Games, this Kings of War giant. Full box set. God, I wanted to paint this myself, but it's kind of intimidating.
Can't wait till
it's so gorgeous. My ideal is that you win it, Vivi, and then you paint it and send it back to me for the stream.
I am actually on my hobby table right now is a fire giant for a certain DM.
Why? So I'll have a fire giant.
Because he needs more giants to kill us.
He needs. Okay, this is my consensus.
I need a fire
I will
giant
paint it for him
to
but
go with this
if
gorgeous.
it comes up in our campaign, no.
So I have this gorgeous frost giant from Manda, Mystical Unicorn.
We get to watch them fight.
And I need a fire giant to go with that.
That would be awesome.
That's a great idea. 100%.
All right,
just takes.
Throwing all the gold pieces at the giant fight. Woo!
Exactly. Okay. So
Come on, you know fire type beats water all day long.
What?
Okay, we're not getting into this.
All right. So the embroidered hats win, and let's jump back into the action. So you are now left alone.
Until 8:20.
Only 8:20, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. We're fine. All right. Only Hawk remains with you and the party. You are in the antechamber. The body of Ashryn has been pulled away. Githa has removed as well. So it is only Gimbal, Lilith, Shorewin, Brim, Millie, and Hawk in the room. Ooh, blue boxers. Good idea. Yeah. Okay, that's going to happen. Yep. It's done. It's going to happen. A good idea.
Pre-warned by John. So
no blue balls, Mikey. No. All right. What do you do?
Shorin repeats what he said earlier. We must be on our way.
Just for a note, when was the last time we took a long rest?
That was with Yash Talks.
Yash? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
If we are to go now, someone else is going to need to lead the cart. I am exhausted. I killed an orc and have not slept since we last were with Yash. I know Lilith had some rest last night while we were riding in the cart, but I cannot.
I haven't either. I think it'd be smartest if we took the night.
Hawk looks over at you. Please, you can rest here for the evening. There is no need to rush out. Ashryn has several days. I can help you, at least point you in the right direction as long as I can go with you. But you can rest here in our estate. The Justruls are kind, even though there is certainly a bit of haughtiness among the elves.
How far is the travel, John?
So, as you ask, Hawk looks over at you and he says, the mines that are spoken of, I believe, perhaps at most 2 days travel. 2 days there, time in the mines, 2 days back. If we can retrieve the white Shiva mushrooms for the ceremony, I think we can be back in ample time.
And what do you know of these mines? Are they inhabited?
Good question. As you probably know, the Order of Ulek has wiped out all humanoids. There are no ogres, there are no half-orcs, there are no
hill giants, there are no kobolds. These mountains have been cleared of all such ilk. But inside the dwarven mines, there are rumors that ancient creatures still live. Not humanoid, but of other kind, magical, deep in the mines, coming up from the bowels of the earth. It may be something that you will have to face.
Forgive me for not entirely believing that, as we just recently fought orcs.
Hill giants.
And hill giants, correct?
You fought them where?
About half a day away. North, I believe.
In the Crons.
On the road.
If they have come this far south, that is concerning, my friend. It should not be so, but here, in the lands of the Pomage and across the Lort Mills, these humanoids have been wiped out to all of our knowledge. We have not seen so much as an orc. He looks at you and kind of drops his head a bit. We've seen nothing of that kind in a while. But the dwarven mines, these are different altogether.
All the more reason we should be on the road now, not knowing what we're going to face in there. We can rest when we're close, enter the mines, get what we need, and then move on.
Hawk kind of lifts his hands and looks at the rest of the party.
I do not mean to be difficult, but as you can see, I was hit with an axe just yesterday. Oh, yes, that was yesterday. And I am not in full fighting shape yet. And I know that you speak highly of my skill, and I cannot fully utilize those skills unless I have at least a little time to rest, please, Shorin. Let us not hurry off. I ask only a little time to rest.
Sure, we're in a rest here or rest out there. It's still a rest. It's still time. It doesn't matter if we take it here or we take it a day from now or we take it right before the mines. It's still a rest. It's still a night.
Shorwin shakes his head and he leaves the room, heads out to Witston.
Shorwin turns. He opens the door. As he opens the door, the hinges creak. He steps out, walks out into the antechamber beyond, his armor clinking, even though he's got this horrible slash across the midsection. By the way, I've not told you this, Shorwin. I should have told you before. Your armor class is currently at a -2 from your normal. You have a huge gap in your armor. It's sundered in the middle, so you're not at your full armor class. But he steps out and moves out of the room.
Lilith will run after him. She
I am
won't say
gonna
anything to
follow
the group.
Okay.
And she'll call his name as he is kind of making his way down the hall.
Call his name.
Shorwin.
And Shorwin's going to keep walking, but he will respond. What is it?
Please, just a minute. Can you just stop for a minute? She's kind of like running out behind you, trying to keep up.
Shorwin slows down, takes a deep sigh. What is it?
You're a lot faster than I am. Please, I know you're in a rush. We made the sacrifice, so we had time. It might be best for us to rest.
If anything happens to her, anything, I don't know. And his voice just trails off.
And she'll grab Shorwin by the hands and just kind of try to make eye contact with him. If he'll look at her, will you make eye contact with her?
Yes.
Okay. We will do everything we can to help her. I know it. You know it. Everybody was willing to sacrifice themselves to help her, to give time for her. We're all in here. We're all together. We're the Wayward Bolt. We will do everything we can to try to save her.
Shorewin listens. He nods. All right. I will stay with Shorewin tonight. Or I am Shorewin.
He's a paling.
I will stay with Winston tonight. I will be ready first thing in the morning.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So we'll go back to the room. The rest of the party, you're still inside the room.
Well, I followed.
Oh, you
so
did
I
follow
was
as
just-
well? All right. What about you, Gimbal, and you, Brim?
Say you, Brim, you go first this time. What are you doing?
See, it's you, Hawk, and Gimbal, the only ones left in the room.
Brim would have gone to the door, not blocked it, but he would have gone to the door, leaned down to be able to look through, and just kept an eye on Shorewin. And
So
would
you
he have
heard-
been able to hear
Then
the
you
correspondence that,
you
at
heard-
least in the beginning,
you-
Shorewin's response to
You
Lilith
heard the
as
whole
he turned
conversation.
around?
Yep, you heard the whole conversation.
Okay. And when he turns around, Brim's just going to look at him. And just shake his head. And pull back from the doorway. He gave him the shake of unknowing.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. All right. Gimbal, what are you doing?
Gimbal will walk over to Hawk and just in halfling, say how many languages do you know and see if you can respond.
Havling? Okay. He looks back at you and he speaks in Havling. I only know 4, but Havling is among them.
Good. He'll continue in halfling and he'll just halfling and say, good. Perhaps we can share some stories tonight about some ways we might be able to help each other.
Help each other. Oh, all right, if you say so.
Yeah.
All right. So after this conversation, guys, careful, you would draw the wrath of John upon you. Our fans are on fire again tonight. Thank you so much, all of our mad chatters. You guys have been awesome. And so let's jump into what happens next, and then we're going to do our giveaway. So it is !Giant for this Mantic Games Kings of War Terrain Crate Gorgeous Giant, our grand prize giveaway tonight. And we're going to do that in just a moment. All right. So let's skip to the... So we're going to go to the next morning. And...
So still during that night, Gimbal would want to have a drink, or so to say, with Hawk.
Oh, so he's going to have a drink with Hawk?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we'll role play that real quick before we do the giveaway. So Hawk, actually, he's got a pretty nice accommodation here in one room at the Manor House. You step in, there's a full-size bed. There are lamps glowing in the corners. There's a fire that's burning. He watches you follow him up, and he kind of beckons towards you like, sure, come on in. And soon you find yourself inside the room with Hawk. He sits down on the edge of his bed. How can I help you, Gnome? You seem curious.
Well, yeah, you seem to have a good understanding of elves in this area, the different groups in this area. You seem to be able to do quite a bit, including popping up behind me pretty easily. So I was wondering, do you also look for items of interest, of artifacts?
He looks at you, kind of smirks when you mention sneaking up behind him. Type !Giant for the final giveaway. And he says, I think I've been about this a little bit longer even than you, Gnome, although I know you are quite aged. Certainly I take interest in artifacts. Why do you ask?
Well, every bit of knowledge I can obtain always gets me a little bit better at protecting those I'm with.
Fair
and
enough.
I have a special interest, not so much in that, although useful, wretched necromancy, but in lovely, lovely illusions. And I don't know, perhaps you could help me obtain that knowledge, and he'll just, from his pack, pull out 2 items, always keeping these items together. He will pull out that medallion that Byrne gave us to not be able to be scryed on.
Right.
As well as the other medallion he pulled from the chest. Do you recognize this?
He looks at both of them. As he looks at the scrying medallion, he nods. Most useful. Where did you come upon this?
Oh, that one is not the one I'm speaking of. But that was a gift. But it's this one, and I guess he'll ensure that he's looking at the other medallion.
He looks at the other medallion, and he says, you see his eyes go wide. He inhales deeply. By the gods! What is this? And we'll stop there for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone. It's a long night, and I know we got people that have to go, but good fun, and you're going to find out next week, Rory, what that amulet is.
It's my precious.
My precious. So our final giveaway tonight is this Mantic Games, and I weep for everyone that's not with us tonight because this is the best, probably the biggest giveaway. Well, the Greyhawk box set was probably the best one we've ever done, but this is right there. This sucker is awesome. This giant Mantic Games, this guy is nasty, Kings of War. That's our giveaway tonight. And so type !giant in the chat. And while we're doing that, let's go through our stream MVP. So if you should be stream MVP, you tell us why. This will be a roll-off, so I'll give you who you're rolling for on each one of those. And let's start tonight with Lilith. Why should you be stream MVP?
Lilith should be stream MVP for getting Hawk to a smell of sweet rolls, being the first to ever call Hawk a sir, or just her natural curiosity about being in different places and new places that she thinks that she hasn't seen before, so just being perceptive to things like that. Trying to get to know Hawk a little bit more on the level of like why he had so much say in this town and how he was able to get us in there. Just staying true to Lilith. She communicates a lot non-verbally with a lot of her friends, like her non-verbal communication with
Lily, lot, yes,
and Sherwin, stuff like that. Sacrificing herself for Ashryn, just kind of staying true also to that, because she had been during last session pulling Ashryn out of the fight to keep her safe and trying to heal her and trying to maintain her health and carrying that forward into this session as well. Yes, and also always trying to unpeel those layers of Shorewin.
And you have peeled many Shorewin layers. And I think we're all still wondering if it's just a ruse to really get to Winston, but you have certainly peeled.
Keep watching and find out. Is it a ruse? Is it not a ruse?
Many.
Why not both?
Many noble Shorewin layers. Yes, Iculus, I know it is tough tonight. All right, so you will be rolling for on this giant from Mantic Games, this Kings of War. Look how, I'm not a small guy. It's a big sucker. He's tall. He's massive. This giveaway tonight. And you, Lilith, will be rolling for City Guard of Hebron.
Wow.
And City Guard of Hebron's been a great viewer and follower, been super active. I don't think he's won anything yet. So I'm looking at it here. I don't see anything, maybe if I missed it. So City Guard, let us know you're still here.
And congrats on the opportunity to win this massive giveaway tonight. Let's go to Gimbal. Why should you be Stream MVP?
Who?
Gimbal.
It cut out.
Gimbal.
Gimbal, sorry.
I mean, I kind of just stayed in the back. I saw the writing on the door and, you know, ensure that I read that, which was kind of creepy. Kind of just maintained that throughout. Didn't really interact with all that jazz. And, you know, took advantage of a moment with Hawk, kind of kept close silently by him, paying attention to him, and took advantage of a moment that hopefully will pay off.
He did well with that, absolutely. All right, so Gimbal, you will be rolling for Grape Ape TX. Congratulations, Grape Ape. A longtime viewer, also a sub. And
he just commented in chat like half a second ago.
I know Grape Ape is here with us for sure. Sorry, I got all my spreadsheets up here. But congratulations, my friend, and you are in the giveaway. And let's go to Shorewind. Why should you be Stream MVP, sir?
So multiple reasons. Shorewind tonight had a good night. Some lovely RP sticking up for Ashryn, who obviously has been injured, but he's willing to do what it takes to save her. Was willing to be the sacrifice if needed. Was willing to go out as soon as possible. Is willing to even on little to no rest and with his armor slit in half, willing to go find this mushroom that we need to find. Additionally, nice little connection with Githa, as well as with Lilith tonight. Lilith did talk him down because honestly, he was just about to jump on Winston and head out.
Yeah.
And just had a really good night tonight.
He really did. Well done, all. And I thought the role play was fantastic, and the stuff with Githa. I'm just still broken about the flower. Federum's flower. I'm sorry, Lilith. That was my heartbreaker.
I'm super sad. She's gonna. Yeah.
That was my heartbreak.
That's gonna come next session.
That was a true sacrifice, and so I'll take you offline. I'll tell you what that flower could have been. That had a purpose in this campaign. Yeah. It was important. That was a real sacrifice that she made tonight. When you stepped forward, you gave something very, very important. All right. So Terry, you will be rolling for Josh Zarathanon. Zarathanon.
Like, Josh again?
Not that Josh.
No, different Josh. Are you still with us, Josh? Let us know.
Come on, Josh.
And going for once, going twice is Zarathanon. Hopefully he's still with us. If he's not, we'll roll for somebody else. Let's go to you, Josh. Why should you be Stream MVP, sir?
Come on, Josh. Tell us why you want to be Stream MVP. Oh, gotcha. Sorry. I think that Brim should be Stream MVP because, for one, starting off with Gimbal's assistance and kind of getting the power, or the, what was the word, puissance?
The ability to jump a horse.
The ability to jump, and building up that power inside of him. He yelled to the guards, even though that's not what he really would have ever done when it comes to high noble society. And then going through the motions. It seems like this was very run-of-the-mill for him. He's very used to this, of just his slow movements, of going to different things, and then also letting the guards themselves take the weapon off him and not him reaching for it. Him, and jumping forward a bit, but him handing off his teddy bear on top of Ashryn and leaving his teddy bear to guard her until they get back.
I'm still a bit verklempt. That was kind of crazy. Yeah. All right.
It hurts.
Well, if Josh or Zarathanon is multitasking, we'll give him a second to come back. But you, Josh, will be rolling for Patrick.
Canadian Ancient Gamer.
Ancient Gamer. There is
So
no
Canadian.
more worthy fan. This guy gives so much to us. So, Patrick, are you still here? Let us know, Ancient Gamer. And then let's go to Evelyn. Tell us why Millie should be Stream MVP.
Well, first, speaking in Elvish to try to kind of calm the situation with the guards outside as we approached. You know, she knows elves and their pride, and was trying to appeal to them and their, you know, arrogance. And then being one of few words, paying very close attention to what was going on, and, you know, taking note of a lot of things that were happening. She, you know, especially when she's around people of this sort, is very careful with how she handles herself. And I think that came through fairly well tonight.
It did.
Also, during you know, stopping Lilith and kind of not necessarily trying to keep her from doing it, but just kind of, you know, having that moment of, you know, I need to be there for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then her returning the locket to Shorewind to give back to Getha, because, you know, she felt it was her duty to make sure that it was returned to Getha because he asked her to do that. Calling out the cloaked elven woman for basically telling Ashryn's sister to give up. There was no hope, and kind of, you know, saying shame on you. Why would you do that? And then actually making herself vulnerable and begging for help from a party member for the first time, really asking for something for herself that she didn't just kind of bully her way into. Knowing that she's injured, knowing that she's, you know, has not slept, and asking for that help, but also knowing what has happened with people charging off in the past and seeing what's happened to them through Gimble's image spells.
Right.
Knowing she's equally concerned that that same thing might happen to Shorewind, and she worries for him, and so she is trying to get him to slow down and think. So yeah, that's what I got.
Well, I think that's a pretty good case for you, and you will be rolling 4. And so Canadian Ancient Gamer was on. I still have not seen Zarathanan, so we'll have to re-roll for...
Oh, there's Zarathanan.
Oh, there he is! Zarathanan. All right. So you are in the giveaway, Josh. Congrats. And
He's
Millie,
in a Cub Scout pack meeting.
Evelyn, you will be rolling 4. Celtic or Celtic Boar. Celtic Boar, are you still with us? I haven't seen him in the chat in a minute. So hopefully he's still here with us. He is a longtime viewer and fan, been a great supporter of our channel, and hopefully he's still with us.
While we wait for him to respond, I'm going to start the poll. So
yeah,
poll
go ahead.
Is going
Put
now.
the poll up for Stream MVP. Now remember, guys, you give 1,000 experience points to whichever player wins Stream MVP. This is not a nothing vote. This is an important vote that you provide to give them those 1,000.
Okay, Celtic Boar's here.
All right, Celtic Boar's here. Everybody's here. All right, so we're ready. Let's roll some dice. I think you check. I believe they're all subs. So if they're subs, they roll 2d20. You can double check in the chat, but I think if I look at that, they're all subs. Yep, everybody's subbing. Thank you to all of you, our subs, our awesome viewers. And let's start with you, Lilith. Tell us who you're rolling for and give us your roll.
I am rolling for City Guard. Oh, my dice are here.
City Guard of Hedron.
11.
11. All right, not bad. A little better than 50-50. Let's go to Gimbal. Who are you rolling for?
I'm rolling for Grape Ape.
Here we go, Grape Ape.
7.
Oh,
7-11.
Ooh, you guys are sucking on the dice tonight. I should have had combat. I wanted combat. We couldn't quite get there. Let's go to Shorewind. Terry.
Oh yeah, we're rolling for Zeroth.
No, sorry, Grape. He said 7, not 17.
12. I got a 12.
A 12 for Zeroth. All right, Josh is in the lead. Gonna win a punch in the face from John in person for the next Gary Con. All right, let's go to Josh.
Canadian Ancient Gamer.
Patrick, here we go, Patrick.
Ooh, first one's a 2. Second one's a 10.
So the 12 still is leading for Josh. So we go to the final roller. Only a 12. Not that tough to beat. Evelyn, remind us who you're rolling for. And give us
Celtic Boar.
All right, here we go. Celtic Boar.
It's just not fair.
I think in the future we're gonna need a constant.
13.
Oh, come on.
I think we need a video on her.
Show us the tray. We doubt you. We doubt you. The finger. All right, it is a 13. Celtic Boar, congratulations. So I don't think I have your mailing address and info, my friend. Let me double check here. I don't see it here, so we'll send that to me in our Discord. Can you pop our Discord creds up again? Reminder, tomorrow night, we will have Lore Masters Arcanum, the fun show tonight. Quick 1 hour, fastest show in D&D, and then we'll be back with our Rune Lords campaign. Then February 19th, Underdark Uprising. I had a great call today, got all kinds of cool stuff happening for that. Going to be a great charity stream for St. Jude's. And then in March, we have 5 streams, 3 campaigns, an LMA, and a DM roundtable for Blue Box on GaryCon. It is going to be unbelievable. This channel is going to blow up here in the next couple of months, and I will never forget all of the folks that got us here, our players, our viewers, and all of our friends. So thank you so much to everybody, and congrats again. Oh, Shorewind is Stream MVP! Congratulations, Shorewind. Well done, sir. That's 1,000 XP. And I look forward to unfolding the story of Shorewind in the coming weeks. So with all that done, thanks for the long night tonight. Much love to all of our fans, all of our mad chatters, all of our players. If you've watched tonight, you've got one last chance to follow us. If you're not following us, or you're following and you're not sub, we have one question for you. What are you doing? Give us a follow, give us a sub, and we're going to kick off a raid here. Oh, thank you for the new follower, Armin. We appreciate that so much, my friend. We're a growing channel, and we appreciate all of the support. All right, so our raid today, and let me see who's up. So, guys, I'm seeing Nightheart, Praetor's Reject, Lootheart Repeat, Level Up, and Arcadum. Now, Arcadum's got 4.7 thousand viewers right now, so if I raid them, it's just try to get something back. I don't want to do that. I want to support those who are helping. And so, Praetor's or Nightheart. Praetor's has 14, Nightheart has 13. I'll let my players decide. Pick one.
Nightheart.
Nightheart. All right, everybody says Nightheart. All right, I love Nightheart. They've got really, really cool visuals and audio stuff. They do a nice job on production. So we're rating Nightheart Gaming, good friends of our channel, good people. And as that gets ready, everybody's, don't leave us yet, help us raid. You all don't leave, raid. Something went wrong, try one in quick action later. All right, I guess Twitch is not going to let me raid tonight.
It says it's rating with
34.
Yeah.
All right, well.
It's just you got to wait for the timer, I guess, if it's being stupid.
Yeah, usually I can like click before the timer to kick it off, but I guess it worked. All right, so we have raided our friends at Nightheart. There we go, got it raid now, and that should be good. There we go. And thank you so much, everybody.